Welcome to the Shipwreck Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Bobby Shipman, and welcome again to the Shipwreck Podcast. Got an eventful one today. One I was actually really looking forward to having. Then an unfortunate situation happened today in Utah that I wanted to give some time to, very little time, honestly, to address it. But here we are. Once again, I look forward to talking to everybody about the subject for today. It's going to be a good one. We want to talk about farmers and what's going on with them, about how they are messing around. They messed around and they're finding out. I think Latinos for a while have been finding out what's been going on. And but I really want to address that more about just the fact of what kind of precedent this is setting with the Supreme Court. So welcome once again. I have no guests today, so it's just us, our community, my shipmates. That anybody would like to join the conversation, you're more than welcome to come on and join the conversation. Again, we have no guests today, so we're going to talk and get some things out and continue on with our week. With that being said, like I said, I don't have any guests today, so we're gonna welcome our first regular to the spot. Welcome, Ronnie. How you doing today?
What's good, brother? What's good?
Nothing.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you good. I hear you excellent. So
Yes,
yeah, so it's been a pretty eventful week, I would say. Actually 2 weeks. It's been a little while since we've been on. But I wanted to start off, obviously, with the biggest news that happened today, which is that Charlie Kirk was killed. I am not going to give this a lot of time because, if I'm being honest, I don't think it deserves a lot of time. I think what does deserve more time than anything to me is the fact that we have another political assassination. And that in and of itself is a problem for our country. It's something that's been a problem for a long time. Political violence in and of itself is a problem. And we had talked about guns and gun control and all of that stuff before, so we're not going to get in all of that. I'm gonna just come out and say it. Charlie Kirk was a racist, and so he lacked empathy. He's personally said stuff like, as far as we got to have a few deaths for us to keep our Second Amendment rights. All that being said, I will say nobody should lose their life over their views of anything. So that is first and foremost. I am not condoning what happened whatsoever, but I don't have any empathy from him as an individual. I feel for his son, because no child should ever have to lose their parent, especially so young a period. And you never want to lose a parent. So I do feel for his child. So I will say that, but I will also say, because I got to keep it real. That's what this show is about. Is hopefully now maybe his son won't grow up as racist as he was. That maybe this is an opportunity for his wife and for them to go on a different path than the hateful path of his father. That's how I feel about it. Ronnie, how do you feel about it? And I'm gonna put a timer on this because I'm gonna let y'all know right now we're gonna talk about this for 7 minutes. And that's more time than Donald Trump gave the people that were assassinated in Minnesota. So go ahead, my brother.
Hey, just real quick.
Timer. Go ahead.
I'm with you the same way. No one should lose their life again, like you said, for their political views, in the sense to where you want to just kill someone because they don't agree with what you're doing.
Yeah.
His words were his words. Words didn't kill anyone. However, his family, and for me, I'm gonna give a thoughts and prayers for him, because that shouldn't have never happened. Do I have any?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have empathy for what happened? I have empathy for everything that happened to around the people that had to see that. because there were
I agree with
kids on
you
there
there.
that are that shouldn't have never ever have to witness something so tragic.
Mhm,
But this isn't new for America. What's new about
mhm.
this for America is it's doing it where everybody can see it instantly now, right? This political
Yeah.
assassinations have been happening for decades, from the beginning of the time that we started, on whatever level it is. But yeah, get thoughts and prayers for his family, because they may or may not have the same thoughts. So they may have just been part of whatever it is. His children most definitely don't deserve to not grow up with their parent. That's just how it goes for me. Um,
So go ahead. I'm so
for
sorry.
me, we can move on from that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, Imma just say this, and this is the reason why I have no thoughts and prayers for, him, is because I wouldn't have thoughts and prayer for David Duke or any other KKK member.
Oh
I wouldn't
no,
have thoughts and prayers for any racist because they wouldn't have thoughts and prayers for me or my family.
no.
And I understand we gotta turn the cheek and stuff like that, but I can't tolerate it. I can't tolerate racism, and I will not. So at this, I will have to give you the same energy that you give me. With that being said, that was how I feel about it. Brother Black, how do you feel about like again, we got 5 minutes left. We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
I was gonna say this gonna only take about 10 seconds, so you can
Okay.
move on to the next subject. I hate that it happened,
Hmm.
but it I won't say he brought it on himself, but when the anger is you incite anger like that, this
Hmm.
is the consequences.
I
And
would
that is
agree.
what's so frustrating with they get out there and talk all this stuff about every other group except white people, and people are
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
So I don't condone what happened. I don't believe people should be killed, for their political views.
Yeah.
But look at how many cops kill innocent black people, and there's no thoughts and prayers with that. They look at, oh
Mm-mm.
well, he did this, he did that. Okay, use that same energy now. Look what he did.
He called George Floyd a scumbag.
Yes, yes,
He did. Charlie Kirk called George Floyd a scumbag.
yeah,
What empathy does he have for what's going on with the deportations and kids losing their parents and all of
absolutely,
that stuff? So I
absolutely.
just I like
So
again start.
if we're gonna use that same
Wish it never
energy that when
happened. Yeah.
right that when a black person is killed, they look at everywhere he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have did that.
Mhm.
Let's use that
Mhm.
same energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good. Let's move
Absolutely
on.
agree. All right, let's move on. All right.
What up, Black? What up, baby?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, and
Go
before
ahead.
we can move on to
Go
something
ahead.
else, but
No, go
I
ahead. Go
got
ahead. Go
something I
ahead. We
want to
got we
say.
got
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with that, but
no, go yeah,
I
go
I
ahead before we about to move to the next subject. Go ahead. You got a
I,
second.
I want to say to you, thank you for having us, and I think you should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Hey, I second. Hey, I second that.
Hold on, we need a lot more people to come on here so can give me my praise. Damn it, come on now. I want my Nobel. I deserve one. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one, which is farmers have fucked around and now they finding out.
Mhm.
Is that
And
simple?
I have no
No,
sympathy for them either.
and neither
Nah,
do I.
zero.
Neither
None.
do
I
I.
don't have
But
none for that.
I want to play the video of the newsreel from Arkansas, and then we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis, a line way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check.
He said he want to check,
nobody
y'all.
wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody
That's
wants to go
welfare.
broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now those representatives in attendance will be taking these concerns they heard to Washington, D.C. to share with the government leaders so they can try and find a way to solve this problem before it's too late. Reporting in the studio, Jake Tester, K8 News.
All right.
Jake, thank you.
I just want to say, first off, I have no sympathy for any of them, but I wanted to bring up this one graphic before I'll give you guys the floor to talk about. And the graphic is this right here. These are the states that sued to block federal student loan forgiveness and relief plans. Let me say that again. These are the states that sued to block federal loan and forgiveness plans because they said those people didn't deserve it. I don't even gonna say we because I don't have student loans. That the people who have student loans don't deserve it. That is welfare. They got a problem with welfare and all of that, and Medicaid and all that stuff. So these are the states. Number one, Arkansas, the same state that this news story comes from. Excuse me. Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, South Carolina, Alaska, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Louisiana, Montana, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, and Utah. Damn near every one of them are farm states. And every one of those states voted for Donald Trump. He said he was going to do tariffs. He said it. You ain't had no problem with him. He said he was going to take away illegal immigration. He was going to deport everybody because they crying about their farm. They're crying about the fact that there's not as many people to work the farms for the cheap labor that they had before with undocumented workers. They voted for this, and now they want a bailout. How dare they get a bailout? How dare they even ask for a bailout when these states had a problem with people getting student loan? To me, student loan forgiveness is no different than you helping a farmer to make ends meet. Because getting student loans and to learn to become more productive in our society is no different than what they're doing. But see, they hear student loans And what do you think? What color you think they think of?
Black.
We all know
Minority.
that. Minorities. Yep. And the vast majority goes to the other hues.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
100%. They're the ones that get the most program monies from every program. It's never nothing that's the minority is gonna receive. It's just the numbers. One, the numbers not gonna add up. Two, it was never meant to be that way in the first place. It was always meant to be to that hue. You know what I mean? So the facts are the facts. They can get what they get. Listen, they messed around, they fucked around and found out.
Yes.
So now this is going to be a part of the system what I've been talking about for weeks and months since we don't hear whatever it is. The system's going to work because it's starting to hit the people that really, really, really effectively didn't want to have unintended consequences for it. So because they didn't see that. They thought it was going to be for the other people. Now it's hitting them hard.
Hold on. I disagree with you. And the reason why, because this point plain and simple. In Trump's first administration, they had to give him a bailout. Yep. So they already went through this. This is no different than before. So I'm gonna say it because it has to be said, especially today. Their racism and what they wanted as their racism trumped, no pun intended, their livelihood. Once again.
Let me tell you a fact that I just looked up, right?
Go
it's
ahead.
Crazy. Just since 2014, white farmers have received approximately $8.1 billion in federal subsidies.
Since when?
2014.
Okay.
And black farmers are still
comparative to 64 million for black farmers.
Oh my goodness.
So this the kind of stuff that people don't see. They don't understand this portion of it because they think that, all the bailouts money is just for that money. No. Mm-hmm. They've already put a whole bunch of money behind all of these people. Mm-hmm. And what they want to do is continue to suck on the tit. Continue to suck on that titty. And the titty just like, nope, we ain't giving you shit. But the farms, I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna work.
They need it more. They need it more.
100%. They're too big to fail. They're not gonna let them fail like the banks.
No. See, so this is the other thing, and I didn't get a chance to research it. The other thing is, our vice president has invested in a company who invests in farming and invest in buying distressed farms.
Yep.
All a game. It's all a shell game.
Yep.
But
advertising.
Prejudice.
So do you think they're gonna the intent is to let him fail because he's investing in that?
You don't need them all to fail. You just need a few, and you can make millions and billions off of it. You don't need them all to fail. Just have 10-20% fail.
Right.
And you buy it on pennies on a dollar. Exactly. Express yourself, baby, because that's what's going on right now. So that being said, that's a perfect segue to anybody that's watching right now. If you want to join the pod, please, I put the link into the Facebook and I put the link into YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube and watch on YouTube because that is going to be the main page. I'm trying to still get our following up. I will say that being home in Philly a couple of weeks ago, this weekend, people were saying, hey, I'm watching your pod and stuff like that. So it's growing. It's definitely people are watching. So if you're on Facebook watching, click the link, get on the YouTube side and like and subscribe over there and watch over there and join the conversation. This is the couch. The couch is behind me for a reason. It's for us to sit back and have these conversations and talk and get things off our chest. And you don't have to have our viewpoint. This isn't just for us to have our viewpoint. If you have a different viewpoint, please come on here and express it. If you have a different viewpoint, I'll even say if you got a different viewpoint, because I have invited people, I've been arguing with people on Facebook. I had to get off of it. If you got a different viewpoint about Facebook, because I have sent them the link, come on and let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. All right, Black. So how do you feel about the farmers and what's going on with them?
I don't think they too big to fail. I think they should fail, but they won't because it'll mess up too much of our commodities. But I hate to say I don't have an opinion on it, but this is what they voted for. And all the issues that we have with Project 2025, what they say, this is what they voted for.
Yeah.
This is what people voted for, Project 2025. So if farmers voted for this, knowing that they had to get a bailout in 2017, I think it was.
2017, 2018,
Yeah,
2019, for
somewhere in
Trump's
there.
first term.
Yeah, I know that they had one because his
Mm-hmm.
policies was so horrible
Mm-hmm.
that they had to get a bailout, and not knowing how tariffs work, knowing that he sent y'all under his first term, what did you think he was going to do the second term? And
Exactly.
you voted for him anyway. So you said it best that they racism trumped their livelihood,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
this is what is happening. So if they get a bailout, then we need to restore student loans. We need to restore Medicaid, Medicare, put the money
Mm-hmm.
back in there because
Mm-hmm.
it's they picking and choosing who they want to give money to, and
Mm-hmm.
people are accepting that. But no sooner you give it to a minority, then it's socialism, it's welfare
Yeah.
program, it's all this other stuff that the government can't
Absolutely.
afford. But now all of a sudden we can afford it when you need the money.
Yeah.
When it's
Yep.
helping you, then it's okay.
Yep.
But the perception is that these other these socialist programs, as they call it, is
Mm-hmm.
helping minority. They have an issue with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it really is not. It's just the perception,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's fucked up. That's all it is.
Yeah. I will add this while I was doing my research for the pod this week. What I did not know is um there's actually student loan forgiveness that states like Wisconsin who voted for Trump and like states that voted against student loan forgiveness on the federal level, they are doing student loan forgiveness for people to become farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Yes. 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 I was floored when I had put, I'm doing my research on YouTube and bam. I was so many stories of legislators talking about trying to get young farmers and doing student loan forgiveness for farming.
that's crazy. That is crazy.
Think about that. Think about that. You know? It- yeah, absolutely, Joe. Come on in. Welcome back to the pod, Joe. Welcome back to the couch, my shipmate.
Thank you,
And
brother.
if you can have 1 minute to talk about Charlie Kirk if you would like. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine because and then go ahead with what you want to say.
Murder is murder. I think that I think that murder should be equally condemned. It's not
Uh,
about whether I
We
like them
all
or
agree.
dislike them. Murder is murder. It's
Hmm.
sad, political discourse shouldn't lead to death. And I hear what my brothers are saying. I would like to see outrage on the other side each and every time one of us is killed. Let's
Absolutely.
if murder is murder and we treat murder as murder, we won't have
Hmm.
none of these. We won't have these problems. We won't have these tugs at your heart, or you won't have these angry reactions where you don't want to be empathetic, sympathetic to that young man's children and his wife who are now going to be alone. Moving on.
Absolutely.
uh, I I don't. I think the tariffs are a byproduct. I mean, I think that the farmer suffering is a byproduct of the administration's policies and perspectives. Donald
Hmm.
Trump is like a bull in a china shop, and this is the byproduct. Now, with that being said, when the tariffs were put on China, when it was China and China alone, I celebrated it. It's needed. It's been needed. And it's needed really because Donald Trump destroyed the TPP when he was first elected, all
Hmm.
because he wanted to retaliate and try to destroy Barack Obama's legacy, which would
Hmm.
have prevented a lot of the problems that we're having now with China. China is a monster. It's a monster. I know a
Yes,
lot
it
of
is.
people don't see it and understand it
Hmm.
like that just yet. That's a whole nother podcast I'm willing to do with you if you want to. I'll get
Yeah,
on and talk
absolutely.
for a year. China's a monster. So, but my problem and my problem is, hey, I understand. Let's level a playing field. If
Hmm.
your market's not open to us, our market shouldn't be open to you. And putting tariffs on, yes, it makes our products, even though it gets passed on to the consumer, it makes our products that much more expensive for us. But in the end, since we stop purchasing those products, in the end, it causes manufacturers to move their production from China, which should be the goal. If you really want to talk about some solutions, we want
The
to hit two
problem
birds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. The problem with that is I just got to interject. is he's so wishy-washy on the tariffs. If companies knew for a fact that this is going to be the tariff, this is what it's going to be, and this is how it's always going to be, yes, they can foresee what they need to do and do things appropriately. That's
Well,
not what's happening here. But go ahead.
he's launched tariffs on the world now.
Yeah.
You know, he's alien. You have no allies. You really screwed up when you did this crap with China. I mean, with India, you saw the photo op. Kim Jong Un, freaking Modi. You got Vladimir Putin and the whole rest of the gang. All of them over there celebrating, and you move in India, which is the counterbalance to China, into their camp like an idiot because Donald Trump is clueless. And I understand. See, I understand his goal. He's not strategic and smart enough to go about doing anything. And whoever the hell is in his camp just says yes to every damn thing. But your pod is really about being sympathetic towards the farmers. I'm not.
No, it's not about being stupid. It's
what I'm
asking
saying is,
question.
should we care?
Yeah,
No, I'm saying,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me.
Yeah.
Your pod. Your question was, should we be sympathetic towards the farmers? And I'm not. When they moved manufacturing out of Detroit and Milwaukee and all the other Ohio, the Rust Belt, and all those African Americans were working for the big three automakers, and next thing you know, we're over here jobless and homeless, etc. Were they caring about us?
The answer is no.
It was called welfare then, but now it's a bailout. But it was called welfare then, so it's not welfare now. So the answer is no. I'm not sympathetic. You voted for him. This is what you get. No different than it comes to the immigration issue. I don't like the fact that you linked or liked or made similar the suffering of people being deported to the fact that this man got murdered. But regardless, they didn't give a dang about us. I lost my point when I went down that rabbit hole. They didn't give a dang about us. So I'm sorry. I'm not really feeling sympathetic. You knew what you voted for. That's what it was. 48% of the people, 48% of Latino communities in border states voted for Donald Trump. I'm not sympathetic in that cause. I'm not sympathetic in this cause. Farmers, they want to go all in, and you want to bend your senators and your representatives here. Good luck. Donald Trump, I think, is clueless, and I don't think it's gonna make a difference. They can suffer. Oh yeah, last thing, because I won't be able to stay on long. Capitalism. Capitalism. If you can't sell your product, I suggest you find a new one. Stop bailing people out. We practice capitalism, right?
Yeah. That's what they say. We ain't no
Plant something else in.
We ain't no
They don't want your soybeans. They don't want to feed their pigs in China your soybeans. They don't pivot it to Brazil. That's absolutely right. They pivoted to Brazil. That's where they're buying their soybeans. I suggest you plant something else. You're a one-trick pony. You don't like corn. You better start boosting ethanol. See, all these special interests compete with each other. You know what I'm saying? Oh, drill, baby, drill. Don't you produce that ethanol? Oh, we don't need the corn then. Oh, I'm gonna plant soybeans. China's pigs don't eat your soybeans now. You better find another. But I don't know what to tell you. I ain't a farmer. Good luck, buddy.
Well said.
Yeah, outstanding. Does anybody else have anything else to say about the farmers? You got something there, Ronnie, for because we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you.
I think, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna disagree with one point. I think this clown is very strategic with the people that's around him. They are very strategically doing things that they're doing. It's not to benefit the normal people. It's to benefit those super rich, ultra rich guys. So he's pushing this money toward them. So they're very strategic on all the things that they're doing. I don't think they care about some of the things that we at this level, the normal people, care about. They don't at that super rich. They just want to line their pockets up as fast as they can possibly do it, and they don't care who gets ran over. And the people that voted for them don't understand that. They still going to support these people that are freaking putting their boots on your neck, and you still think that they're going to support you? No, they just the more you support them, the heavier their pockets get, the heavier that boot gonna get on your neck. And they don't even understand that part of it, which makes no sense to me. Which to me, kind of like, you shouldn't even be running a business. Your business should fail if you don't recognize that the people that you're supporting or pushing up and putting getting their bank accounts heavier are hurting you more than they're helping you, then you deserve to get your damn neck pushed on and your business to fail, because you shouldn't be doing the things that you're doing. Yes, now the other things he's talked about, absolutely. You need to pivot and find some other type of product that you could possibly utilize that land for and make it work for whatever business that you need to pivot to, or sell it. You understand what I mean? And then go into a whole nother business. That's capitalism, right? And I agree with them 100%. The only other part that we have to really pay attention to is if we're not manufacturing our own food, which we need to manufacture our own food, because whenever we go to war, because it's gonna happen, you need to be manufacturing your own produce in this country, because it's going to cost way too much money, or the other countries aren't going to support you because they need to conserve it for their population.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the kind of thing. So that's why I was saying that I think it's going to be too big to fail, man. I don't think they're going to allow those. I think what you talked about, Bobby, is they're going to let a certain number of them fail, and they're gonna they can't let the whole farming industry collapse. It's impossible, because John Deere depends on them with all the equipment. It's too much. The seed people that's producing the seeds make too much money from all of that stuff. They can't allow it to fail.
Well, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I believe that most of the farms in this country is owned by corporations at this point.
100%. Yeah.
But that being said, Joe, I'm gonna give you a chance to counterpoint what Ronnie said. If you disagree with anything he said, counter to you. Joe, I don't know if you can hear
At
me.
least I think it did.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Yeah, we got you. Go ahead. My bad.
I'm saying I don't disagree with Ronnie. No, he's saying I agree. I agree with Ronnie. Yeah. He's saying Donald Trump is strategic when Donald in his own way. Donald Trump caters to the ultra wealthy. And even when he was doing the immigration raids, he was trying to pull back or trying to pivot and do a half-but policy when it came to snatching up immigrants who were working on farms in California, because it was affecting them too greatly. They were destroying their labor source. So
100%.
So he listens to the business owners, because that's all he cares about. That's true. He listens to the business owners, and so he is strategic in that arena. His strategy, my perspective is, when it comes to making money, that's what he knows how to do. He knows how to funnel money into his pockets. I read today his net worth just went up $3 billion in the last whatever, so now it's worth 7.3. Crook. So he knows how to funnel. He does slip that in. He knows how to funnel money into his donors' pockets. But when it comes to this chess game, he's all too often playing checkers. That's my problem. So no, I don't disagree with Ronnie.
And I actually agree with Joel there, where I think he is strategic, but I think he is a bull in a china shop, where he does things emotionally. So he can be strategic, but he's also a very emotional decision maker as well. And so I think both can definitely be true. With that being said, Black, do you have anything else about the farmers before we move on?
Nope.
All right. So
they said it well.
Yeah, I think this one right here, we're gonna go into the Latinos, and that one is really, I forgot to add my one thing that I normally add when it comes to this. So we're going to add it right now, because they are finding out, because they will vote for Donald Trump. Yes, they will. Yep. And so they are actively finding out what it feels like to vote for Donald Trump, especially the lead singer, the female lead singer, whose husband is being deported. So now that we got that out the way, I think I'm gonna play a couple videos for you. I'm gonna play a couple videos, and then I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and then we can all talk about it. Before I play the videos, anybody, if you're watching, if you want to join the conversation and talk about the stuff that we have talked about already, or the stuff we're about to talk about, please click the link on Facebook or YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube and like, subscribe, and join the conversation. We are here. We are a family. Even if you have different views, you can still be a part of the Shipmate family, the Shipwreck family, and be a shipmate of ours. come on in and let's talk about it, because we like hearing different views, but you got to be ready to talk. So here we go. This is one video I wanted to show everybody.
It is important to understand that the Supreme Court released this decision without any explanation.
Right.
It was just yeah.
And let me set it up first. So the Supreme Court has I should have did that first. I'm sorry. The Supreme Court has ruled that roving immigration raids can happen in LA and other cities as well. And they basically said that you can racially profile to detain and question people. So that is, and they did that without a hearing. They just automatically did with the stay that stopped that from happening and said, yes, it can continue. So here we go.
It is important to understand that the Supreme Court released this decision without any explanation.
Right.
It was just yeah. No,
Brother,
they can
you
do
hearing
it.
that?
Brett Kavanaugh,
Can y'all hear it?
I guess, really wanted to get on the record how much he agreed with it, which is a weird thing to.
He did not have to do. He did not have to do that. Yeah.
I want to read something from his concurrence. As for stops of those individuals who are legally in the country, the questioning in those circumstances is typically brief, and those individuals may promptly go free after making clear to the immigration officers that they are U.S. citizens or otherwise legally in the United States.
Right.
Let me just read you some headlines. U.S. citizen detained by ICE in L.A. says she wasn't given water for 24 hours. U.S. citizen says she was arrested and jailed by ICE in San Francisco. U.S. citizens, legal residents detained during Southern California legal raids, filing claims against the government. Pregnant U.S. citizen arrested by ICE went into labor prematurely in California, claim says. It is simply not the case that in practice, what Kavanaugh believes to be true is what is happening universally. And so, I don't even know what to... It's like he's living in an alternate universe.
Well, you'd have to play it out this way. If you are Hispanic or look Hispanic and you live in Los Angeles and you go to Home Depot, but you are a U.S. citizen, from now on, you'd have to bring your papers with you. You'd have to, right? Bring your citizenship, whatever papers prove your citizenship. You couldn't leave. But let's say you forgot to do it at that time and they round you up and you claim to them, I am a U.S. citizen, but they don't believe you. You are fucked until somehow you can get a lawyer on the phone or figure out a way to get your citizenship authenticated in front of them. And even then, it's unclear how long that will take. And that act of detaining you, putting you in a detention center, forcing you to actually get a lawyer, there are damages that are associated with that act that are not just fiscal. But
lawyers don't do these things for free, Sam.
Yes, I know.
Right?
It's crazy. And so now you're basically saying to people, you have this burden that you have to carry around unless you are stapling your citizenship papers to you at all times. It does strike me that the white male Supreme Court justice is the one who did this. He has nothing to worry about. He's not going to go out and get detained or, it's so to not understand the problems associated with racial profiling is beyond.
This court also said recently that it was not acceptable for universities to take race and ethnicity as one of the factors they consider in making admission. So as far as I can tell, colleges can't use anything that they may intuit about a person's race or ethnicity to bestow admission, but agents of the state who carry weapons and are authorized to use lethal force can detain people based on... I mean, I don't want to be one of these people who are it's all racism, but I think it's all racism.
There's a fair amount of it here.
I just don't understand, legitimately, what is another way to read that?
All right. So I just want to read off some cases of U.S. citizens that have been detained during these raids. George Rates, Army veteran, security guard, seized on July 10th raid in California, held for 3 days without charges. Another, I'll start from mispronouncing names bad. So I'm gonna just continue on without the names. Another U.S. citizen was grabbed by ICE on June 24th and was detained and wasn't given water for 24 hours. Excuse me. You have the U.S. citizen arrested by immigrations near Pico Rivera workplace in mid-June. and they're out now. But again, no charges. You have tow truck drivers. You have Long Island electricians. You have San Diego grandmother and court observer detained by ICE for 8 hours without any court appearances or anything, and then let go. I mean, so like it's absolutely ridiculous that they said it's just okay to just detain people. Basically, you got to walk around with your citizenship card. And I just want to play this quick video, and then I'm gonna give it up to everybody else and tell you how I feel about it, and then give it up to everybody else. One more video.
Playing out today, one day after the Supreme Court lifted the ban on so-called roving immigration patrols. This video of federal agents swarming a car and detaining people at gunpoint was captured in a Van Nuys parking lot this morning.
With weapons drawn, federal agents walked toward the driver's side of this red vehicle in a Van Nuys parking lot. Luis tells us he was in the area when he saw what was happening and began to film.
When I saw this chaos, guns drawn, everything, the girl was there screaming like, oh, like, why are you guys pointing guns at us? Like, we're not doing anything. That's when they got close. They break the window, they dragged the guys out, and then the female, she said she was pregnant, but they were just, all these guys gang up on her.
A man who identified himself as a friend of some of the people in the car did not want to go on camera, but said the two men are lawful permanent residents and that the woman is a U.S. citizen. On the passenger side, an agent points his gun at a woman who said, "If you touch me, I'm suing you." She then steps out of the car. This comes one day after the Supreme Court lifted a federal judge's temporary ban on the Department of Homeland Security's so-called roving patrols, which have been denounced as unconstitutional and carried out through racial profiling. Like many others documenting the aggressive sweeps and arrests, Luis said he wanted to film as evidence.
They're always doing something they're not supposed to do. So what we need witnesses, we need people recording, because, we didn't do, no, you know what, we got you on tape, bro, because all this, they do a bunch of stuff they're not supposed to by the book.
The man who says he knows some of the people in the car says the woman was released and that the two men are an immigrant.
All right, so number one is the crime that they're saying that they're committing is coming over the border illegally. So they're saying they have a crime to that, but they're using that to go after any person that look Latino, that sounds Latino, or in Latino places, because these people were just going to a Mexican restaurant in Van Nuys near LA. And here we are with them with guns drawn, no masks on, no badges out. So who is you to say, as a person, to say this is really somebody from ICE? This is somebody that's a police force that I need to obey, because they say we got to obey the law, right? We got to obey their instructions. How do I know this is who I need to obey? I also want to add this, and this is where I say I am more conflicted with this one than I am with the farmers. The farmers need to find out. But this one is a slippery slope for me, simply because the crime today is crossing the border illegally, that they say. Tomorrow, the crime could just be burglary. The crime could just be carjacking. The crime could just be whatever they want to make up. And now that they set the precedent that you can racially profile for a crime of immigration, who's to say that the Supreme Court won't say that you can't racially profile for a crime, period? And now us as Black people are getting stopped for no reason other than we suspect you of doing a crime, because a crime was committed here a week ago, a month ago, or 3 hours ago. All right, Black, I'm gonna go with you first.
That's the slippery slope that I'm always concerned about. Where does it stop? And a lot of people will say it's not affecting me, so they don't have a problem with it. I look at how far it could go and what could happen. And that is what angers me. And you said it well, it's a slippery slope. What's to stop them from adding a crime, a speeding ticket, for example? Oh, we thought you was the person that we're looking for speeding ticket, and now they pulling me out of my car and sending me off somewhere that is illegal. So this is what boggles my mind. This is kind of what I was hitting on earlier today when I was talking to you. Where's all this stuff going? Because if the Supreme Court is not upholding the Constitution and the law and giving them authority to do what they please. And I'm like you, somebody with that hadn't identified themselves walk up to me. My first thing is I got to defend myself because I don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I should be
Mm-hmm.
giving or respecting you
Yeah.
as authority. It's the same thing that when they came out with, remember when they came out with no knock warrant, no knock
Yeah.
warrants, and that was my
Warrants.
thing that we
Yep.
talked about. You busting down my door without knocking, I'm shooting first because I don't
100%.
know who you are.
Yep.
I'm expecting you to
Yep.
be a burglar. I'm pr- uh, pr- protecting my house as if you are a burglar. So it's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it's just we going further and further down this slope, and one day it's gonna be us. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. One day.
And
Absolutely. I just
I was
want to
about to say I used to
go ahead.
always tell you we just a pin stroke away from slavery, and people used to think that I was crazy, but that's where we headed. That is where we
Mm-hmm.
going.
I just want to add that um there's a group that doesn't has a big problem with gun registration because that's a slippery slope of the Second Amendment, but they're cool with racial profiling, which destroys the Fourth
Exactly.
Amendment.
Again, as long as it don't affect
That
them,
that is not that is not a problem. Yeah, because they can go about their
yes,
business and it's not an issue.
yes.
All right, Ryan, I'm coming to you after I go to Joe. Joe, you there? He may be gone. All right, Ronnie, you're up.
All right, so tell me what
I'm
an
sorry.
illegal looks like. Oh, go ahead, Joe. I can wait.
It's cool, Joe. Yeah, okay.
Which one? It don't matter to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Joe,
yeah,
you up?
I'm here. I'm sitting in the car listening. I mean,
Okay.
wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. And I appreciate everybody's concern. You guys are voicing my concerns. It's a slippery slope, you know. It's scary. I really don't have much to add. It's a very slippery slope. Racial profiling is racial profiling. Up until now, they were using all sorts of other methods to gain that information. They were catching people at their hearings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I mean, listen. Again, let's be consistent. Let's be consistent. I don't like to see the Supreme Court legalize something that should be illegal or legalize something that is illegal, for
Yeah.
one. And for two, that's why I say let's be consistent. If you're here undocumented illegally, then you must participate in the system and do so legally. Wrong is wrong, but I don't want to sit there and pick and choose which wrong is going to be acceptable. They're both wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Ronnie?
Tell me what an illegal looks like. That mean that it's all we are. It ain't gonna be when it's gonna be. It's already us. I could be
Yep.
Latino. I know people. I know Latinos that look like white people.
Yeah.
I know Latinos
You're
darker than
absolutely
me.
correct.
You understand what I mean? So we already in the midst of all of that stuff. They can stop anybody if according to what the Supreme Court basically just said. You can't just say, hey, they appear to be an illegal. I'm going to stop. Well, I mean, shit, I could be illegal. I mean, technically, I could be a Latino to somebody else's perspective, to a law enforcement perspective, right?
Yep.
So there are limitations, and if people don't understand that part of it, because they say, oh, they put a title on it, oh, just for Latinos or they undocumented people. That's just bullshit. Get away from the titles. It's just people. Period. They're like we already talked about this. We are already in the cusp of that. They're doing it illegally already. They got backed by the Supreme
Mm-hmm.
Court. However, the courts they can only detain you for 48 hours max, right? Without you being identified.
No,
Hold on,
not with this. Not with the ICE
Hear
stuff.
me out.
Not with the ICE stuff. It's completely different.
No, it's
Go ahead.
48 hours. It's a federal thing, right? So they can only hold you for 48 hours. That's a federal law. So what citizens can do is if they do get stopped, and this is just me putting this out there, right? Say you do get stopped by ICE or whatever, because this eventually is going to happen to either you or someone else you know. One, you got the Fifth Amendment. Don't say shit, because you're not going to win a battle with them on the street. You're not. They're going to take you in if you don't have your identification. You can't say I'm a U.S. citizen or show them, hey, I'm not who you're looking for. They can take you in for 48 hours. It's true. Get a lawyer. When they fuck up and let you out, go sue them, because you still have the right to sue them for that kind of stuff, because it's something called habeas corpus. That never goes away, right? So what people don't understand is like we're in a system right now, and I hope people are really understanding this part. You're in a system right now where you don't have control of some of the things that you think you have control over. Is it going to come to the point where it's going to be where they're going to effectively do the wrong thing to the wrong person is going to set some stuff off? That's what they're wanting to do. That's what the hope is. They want people to go out there and say, you just dotted out for my people. Now we're going to do this. You're going to lose that. We're going to overall lose that battle because you don't have enough guns. You don't have enough intelligence. You're not going to beat them that way. You have to beat them with the courts, and you have to beat them with your money, period. You're not going to beat them physically.
But again, hold on. Think about where they're going.
I already know.
They're not going to affluent communities to do this.
100%.
And then I'm gonna say again. I want to tell you again. You said 48 hours, but I'm looking at Jose. I'm gonna just say Jose.
I'm saying you're a citizen.
19-year-old U.S. citizen. 19-year-old U.S. citizen from New Mexico. He was detained by Border Patrol agents in Noches, Arizona, for nearly 10 days in April 2025.
And he can sue the shit out of
And his family had to produce, that he was a citizen before they let it go, and the judge let it go. And again,
he's gonna get paid.
who's to say that his family has the money to do that? And the inconvenience of all of that. Like, I think I'm not gonna say dismissive is the right word. I can't think of the correct adjective, but to just say lawyer up and stuff like that for a lot of people is it's very hard to do. It's very, very, very hard to do. And this should not be, and I'm not, you're not saying it should happen, but that's the problem in and of itself. And that needs to be attacked. Yes, we can give people advice of this is what you should do when it happens, but it shouldn't be happening in the first
100%.
place. And eventually it will happen to us because they're going to say that, like you said, anybody can be Latino. You're right. I've seen Latinos from as dark as us to as light as any, anybody else.
Blue hair.
And but right now they just but blind and blue hair. But right now they just got rid of protections for 100,000 Haitians. Who to say that they don't stop any of us for saying that we Haitian? You know what I mean?
100%.
So you absolutely right on that point. But I just wanted to add that, that 48-hour thing, they don't give a shit about that. They don't care about it whatsoever. And so Joe, do you have anything? I know you came back on. I didn't know if you had anything else. Black, you got anything?
Just know your rights, man, because eventually it's already happening to everybody. Just know your rights.
Absolutely.
Know your rights. Absolutely. Know what you can do. That for me, I'm with you 100. It shouldn't be happening anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%. However, it is happening, right?
It is.
And the Supreme Court said they can go and do it. So they kind of got the law behind them, but they still have rules they still have to follow. You know what I mean? So, like I said,
but then I feel like they should be having their badges out. They should be having not be masked like
100%.
that. All of those things are rules that they should be doing that they're not doing. They're not doing. So to say that they got rules is bullshit at this point because they're doing whatever they want to do, and Trump will pardon them after the fact if he needs to.
Yep.
That's the scariest part of all of it. And that's what you had put earlier, Black. This next video I wanted to watch is how I talk about the slippery slope, because like we all said that, now the big thing is crime. And they're going to go from immigration to crime and start arresting Black folks for no reason whatsoever. And this next video I just want to play. This is of a Christian nationalist pastor. Well, you really need to take the Christian, you need to X out the Christian part. But I just wanted to play this so that way, and I wanted to talk about it for a minute because it's not astonishing, but it is eye-opening. So you can see what they're willing to say in public view now.
Parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is Black in our church, and they've been in our church and we know them and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger.
Wow.
Them's the facts.
Yeah.
And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say, all people and all races of people in our country are the same. They are not.
Yeah.
You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
Yeah. Being around black folks that you don't know that go to your church could kill you. I told you I had one today. This was going to be a good one. Brother Black, I'm giving it to you first. You had to talk in shock today. You had to talk in shock today.
I
Let's
can't
go.
believe that is a pastor. And the
Mhm.
other side of that fence, we tell our kids
Not that same talk.
exactly. We don't have that
Yeah.
same talk.
How did the yeah. But our talk is how not to get
Yep.
shot, how not to
Yep.
die.
But if me as a 52-year-old grown man saw a group of black people and they gathered up, I'm gonna exercise caution. If I see the same amount of white men all gathered up, I'm turning around and going the other direction.
Mm.
But to hear him as a pastor say stuff like that, it's amazing that they saying it out loud now. It's out loud, and it's scary. I don't even know what to say behind that. It's scary.
All right, get your thoughts together. I'm gonna come back to you. Ronnie, go. You smiling, you chomping at the bit. Look like you ready to
Man,
go.
because
And Joel, if you up, I'm gonna come to you next. Joel, if you up.
listen, man.
Before you go, Ronnie, I want to say anybody that watched that video and it hit your heart, it hit you where you want to have a talk about it. Come on to the pod. The link is in Facebook and YouTube. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Listen, man. The clergy has been the most demonic motherfuckers in history. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? This is not new, bro. They've been saying this stuff for decades. I mean, from
centuries. Centuries.
I'm gonna go further than that. From the beginning of time, right? They always been that kind of way, man. This isn't new. Don't be shocked about a clergy person, because I'm not gonna even call them a pastor. A clergy. Go look that word up. What they do is they feed on people that don't know better, right? Because I guarantee you that man's church is full. I bet it's packed every day, every Sunday, or however many times they gotta meet, and there's not one person in there, even the black people aren't in that church. They ain't gonna say a word to that guy about, hey, that's not right. So what does that tell you about the mentality of people? You are talking about the very people that are in your congregation. I'm sure he has minority people in his congregation that absolutely agree with them 100%. So what does that tell you about people and their mentalities and how easily it is to persuade people to think like you? So,
but see,
for me, the bigger part of that people should be thinking about is they let allow. This is what the problem is. They're allowing these type of people to be on big platforms so they can talk to more people. That should be the issue that people should be thinking about. Who would put a person that they know in that aspect, that has that mentality and that thinking about minorities, to give them a platform to spell fucking word? Would you put Hitler on freaking CNBC knowing what his past is? You think they would put him on freaking on TV? Hell no. So unless they had the right amount of people, that's who they should. Don't go by don't let the pastor think how he wants. But whoever gave him that platform, that's the people that you attack, because those are the people that you need to start shutting down. You're not going to change that guy. You're not going to change his view.
Yeah, you're not. But because of the internet, you're not shutting down anything. Because everybody can have their hateful speech and all of that stuff.
Freedom of speech.
I do want to say, I do want to say, Black, if I encounter a whole bunch of 10 white dudes or whatever it is, and air masks, whatever like that, if I'm in a public place, like I'm going, I'm not I'm gonna keep going where I'm going. That's just me. I'm gonna keep going where I'm going because I have that right
So
to.
what if you in
Now,
Philly and you got on a Cowboys jersey and there's 10 white guys with a Philly jersey on? You gonna keep going?
I would have. No, I'm not. I wouldn't
Okay,
be dumb
okay.
enough to wear that jersey. Now I
Great
will. Now I
question,
will
Black.
say. Now I will say that was a great question. That was a great question because what that did is spark me up to say that growing up, I could not go to Second Street or 2th Street, as you call it in Philly, because the Irish will beat your ass for being black. I will say that I couldn't go past 9th Street in Philly because the Italians would beat your ass. So yeah, you got to know where you at that point in time. But I do believe that where I'm at now, personally, I feel like I'm going to go where I'm going to go. I'm going to go where I'm going to go. And if something happens, something going to happen. I may take that L, but I'm going to take somebody else going to take an L with me. My L may be bigger, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But I
My
understand and
I think my point was what I was trying to get across was, as a black man, if I see a group of 10 white guys group around, I'm my I, my I'm I'm at more of an alert because it's 10
yeah.
white guys, one black guy. I don't know if there's 10 racists. I don't know if there's 10 KK members. I
Mhm.
don't know if they looking
Mhm.
for a picnic that night or that evening. I don't know if they're looking for
Yeah.
somebody to hang. I don't know. So I'm going to exercise a different route. Whereas if it's 10 black
Mhm.
guys that look like me, I'm still going to handle it the same way. I may not go all the way around or turn around and go back. I may look at the situation and be like, oh shit, that's Pookie and Ray right now. Shit, I'm good and keep moving. But if
Mhm.
it's 10 guys I don't know just because they black, don't mean that I'm going in there just because they black or I'm going to not turn around either. So him saying that, the way he said it was, if it's white people, okay, exercise caution. But if it's black people, oh, it's 30 times more likely something gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's the same damn thing. If it's
Yeah.
10 white or
Yeah.
10 black, because they are all unfamiliar. If you don't know
Mhm.
them, then all of them can be just as harmful. So we will have a
Yeah.
different talk depending on what side of the fence you're on. But the way he broke that down, all black people, unless they sitting in church with you, which is code for
Yeah.
unless they are Christian and
We
you know them and they go to church
Mhm.
with you and probably go to school with you and blah blah blah. But if you don't know them, then they 30 times more likely to cause harm to you. That's the sad reality
Mhm.
of what he said, and we typically don't teach it. We teach you be cautious about everybody.
But that's the thing that you'll see. They've been saying that since since we came off the
Absolutely.
boat. So, yeah, they've been calling us monsters and aggressive and all those things, and they continue to push those stereotypes, just like the thing that they doing in North Carolina, pushing a stereotype of the black man that killed the white woman, which never should have happened. Obviously, he needed to be charged, and whatever needs to happen to him needs, full extent of the law. Nobody's condoning that whatsoever. But they highlight black people killing white women. They highlight undocumented workers killing anybody, mostly white
They got to
folks.
keep the fear going.
Because I haven't seen them. Have you heard? Give me a story of an undocumented killing of a black person that y'all heard about on Fox or anything.
Never. I haven't. What?
I can't either. So, but with that being said, Joe, would you like to chime in on what you see? Go,
Go ahead, Joe. I got a comment after that.
Joe. Joe, you
Yes,
there?
so can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
you.
I've had to reset this phone twice just so you can. People have been the fact that he claims to be a Christian to me is pointless. They've been waging wars, committing crimes, and murdering people draped in religion and religious titles, and not just germane. It's not germane to Christianity or
Mm-hmm.
Islam or even Buddhism. remember the Crusades, even back, So I mean, that's nothing. This is just a racist man who, in the trappings, or not even the trappings, with the title of a Christian, sure, because he lords over a couple of people, wherever, it doesn't matter. Then it is what you're racist and you're espousing your views. You are continuing to race bait and hype everything that you guys have mentioned. So there's really nothing to add. It's not even. I don't know. I feel like sometimes we shouldn't even dignify half this foolishness. You are what you are,
but
and you're showing it. Trump has emboldened, encouraged, made it fashionable, made it acceptable. He has to be racist and to espouse your racist views and to share them with the world. He has definitely emboldened them. I won't debate that. And which no other president, Democrat or Republican, Lyndon Johnson was calling us the N-word. He was referring to us as the N-word, but he also signed civil rights legislation. He also was sitting down with Martin Luther King Jr. He also appointed Thurgood Marshall to the Supreme Court. I'm saying they've been racist. Let's not get it twisted now. There's very few of them who have been as racist as Andrew Jackson, but they've been racist. But they still have some dignity and respect to not put that out there, or to still try to have some type of tact, some type of class, some type of leadership, and not let their homegrown views be verbalized and so others can espouse them. But this Donald Trump has been a little bit different. And so we're dealing with that fallout. That's all that is. And it's going to take a while for us to retard that. If I see 10 people, I don't care what your ethnic group is, and I'm unfamiliar, depending on the context, situation, location, I'm on guard. I'm paying attention. I grew up in LA.
Yeah.
It behooves me to be aware of my surroundings at all times and to pay attention to who I'm about to encounter. So, I mean, I don't care what your race is. I see 10
That's
anything
how I
by
feel.
myself. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. That's it. I would agree. You said it way more eloquently than I did.
And
That's exactly how I would agree.
way more elegant than I did, but that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, man,
Ronnie, go ahead,
just
man.
quick,
Go ahead.
because I know we got to move on to the next thing, right? Again, there's nothing new that we're doing under the sun that's happening out right now. It's not. There's been presidents that were worse, that have done worse things than this administration has done to minorities and blacks throughout the time of this almost 250-year young country. This isn't new. What is now new is the information isn't hidden anymore, right? It's not unaccessible to people that didn't have the accessibility to it back in the past. You couldn't be in rural Mississippi and know that what's happening in California was happening to black folks in California. People in Mississippi don't understand that why these gun right laws came into effect, because the Black Panther Party went to the freaking capital in California armed. That's why all these freaking gun laws came into effect. But they don't understand that portion of it. What it is now people can see it instantly. Now it's hitting more people faster. And that's why they say, oh, being woke is so wrong. No, because after them people that were in, like, say, rural Mississippi are starting to wake up, like, wait a minute. These farmers are starting to wake up like, whoa, that's not what's supposed to be happening. These people in these little Montanas and all these little freaking rural places in Utah, they just saw this man get shot in front of them. It's starting to wake up like, wait a minute, what words matter? You can't say this kind of stuff and you don't have any consequences. Those kind of things now hitting these people. They didn't have people getting shot in their face at a university in Utah. Come on, bro. So the whole thing is like,
if you get
so what's happening is the people are starting to wake up to a lot of these things, and what they want to do is try to keep people asleep. They don't want you to understand and see these type of informational things come out. I'm glad, honestly, I'm happy that he's doing the way that he's blatant about it, because what people are going to do, especially in this kind of crazy, they're going to be looking around like, wait a minute, what happened to Jose? Oh, Jose used to be cleaning up our house. He gone now? What happened to his family? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, this ain't working. So it's people are starting to wake up, and it's not gonna be fast. Some people slow. I'm like my wife. She's not a morning person, but when she awake, she a motherfucking beast. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what they want to people to do, is keep people slowly or sleep or slowly wake up. It's just my point.
I just want to add in that um you have some like him who is blatant with it. The the dude, the video, the clerk. I can't even call him a pastor because. But you know what? Let's be real. They use Christianity to keep us enslaved and say that we wasn't inferior people. So it is what it is. There, I just that needs to be said as well. But it's the fact, that my timeline. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go out because I should. Let me cut my Charlie Kirk clock back on because my timeline, my timeline has taught me some things today. It because I just want to say that Charlie Kirk has said a lot of racist things, and for people to, whether it's figuratively or actually, cry over this human, it bothers me. It does, because Charlie Kirk was a more buttoned up David Duke. That's how I feel about it. Charlie Kirk was a more buttoned up David Duke. He believed in the white replacement theory. He would look at, if you get on an airplane and see a black pilot, is he qualified? You can't get more racist than that. Oh, he's black? Ooh, I don't know if he belonged to be here. So him to me is no different. And I think it has allowed a lot of people, because it sounded more elegant, I guess. It allowed people a pass to believe the shit that has been said about minorities for the last 600 years, 500 years since we've been here. And so 400 years or whatever since we've been here. And so that, for me, is a problem. I'm gonna give it to the floor, Joe. If you got one more thing before we go to the next subject.
I don't have anything, my brother. Nothing that'll add
No, you got
anything to
okay.
substance. You know what?
All right,
You know
all
what?
right. So we're gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just speculating. In the state of Utah, there's like 1.3 African Americans. So who killed Charlie Kirk?
Mhm.
Who killed Charlie Kirk?
Well, allegedly, I have seen a video of an older white man that was arrested.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
Yep,
person that they let go because he's still at large? I'm saying, but
I don't know.
They had an update about an hour ago. Down, he's the guy that he's arrested now.
Okay,
They looking.
so that's
They
interesting.
looking for. Yeah.
Because I say that because, and I know this is off topic, but that animal that killed
It's all
Trayvon
right.
Martin, he's still ripping and running around.
Mm-hmm.
But please move on to the next topic. I digress.
No, because it's true. Because it's true.
And I don't want to.
And the lack of empathy that was showed to that situation. He had Skittles. He had a hoodie on. He shouldn't have resisted. All of the things that was said about that situation, and that young man should not have died for what happened. Charlie Kirk shouldn't have died today. His views and what he said should not have killed him.
But you know what? All I'm saying is, like, we have to be careful. We need to be outraged over murder. It's not. I don't care about the color of your skin, the creed, your religion, etc. Now, of course, I don't like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was, and I love what you said. That was a buttoned up David Duke. Said well, my brother. Said well. We have to be out. I mean, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I got to give the credit. We have to be outraged over murder. Not when it's just one of them, or I mean, not when it's because they need to have the same outrage when it's one of us. Condemn it equally. I keep saying it. Let's all be consistent. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. And I'm just disappointed that God didn't visit that repayment on Trayvon Martin's killer a little sooner than what's going to happen. But still, I'm just saying we got to be outraged at murder. That's it. I got to run. Man, outstanding pod. I'm over here in Denver. I'm at work. So this is on my lunch break. I'm glad I got to participate.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy. We about to go to. We about to
Enjoy,
move on.
bro.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
My
joining us.
pleasure.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna move on to the next subject, and this one is we going into Charlie Epstein. With Charlie Epstein. We're going into Epstein and his birthday book and what's been going on with that. I'm gonna start by saying I have been late to the party. I think I posted this on uh Facebook earlier today. I'm sorry, I was reading the text because somebody must have posted something about me on Facebook, and we may be talking about this here
Quick
shortly. But
question.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Going back to or the last subject. Did you hear today
Go ahead.
that they had a moment of silence on the House floor and a prayer for the guy that was killed family?
No, I did not.
I
Yeah, they
think that
did.
happened. They
I
did.
saw it. Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
saw it. Yes, sir.
And they didn't do that for the people for the representatives who
Absolutely
were
not.
actually elected.
Yeah, no,
Actually elected.
the Democrats were ham in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
they went.
Actually elected. They were actually
Yeah.
elected.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
that about an hour ago, and I'm
No,
like, okay,
no, I
maybe
did not know
Shimmer gonna
that.
bring this up.
No, I didn't know. Thank you for bringing it up because I did not know. I did not
Yep.
know at all. Because that in and of itself, and that in and itself tells you is us versus them. That
Yep.
is not morals, is not right or wrong, it's us versus them. And that's where the problem, that's where the hypocrisy comes in. And that's when I say, fuck them.
Yep.
I mean that so sincere because it has to
Moment
be
of
said.
silence.
It has to be said. Like, the reason why I won't give Charlie Kirk a moment of silence on this podcast is because he is not an innocence. But
Right.
I will absolutely, anybody that dies innocently of anything, and let me take that back. What's the best way to describe it? He spewed hate.
Mm-hmm.
He literally said, and I can bring up the video, he has no empathy.
Mm-hmm.
He literally said that some people just have to die for us to keep our Second Amendment right.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that he believed in.
Yeah.
And I say it again. He would, if one of our family, God forbid, one of our family members was to pass for anything, he wouldn't have no empathy for us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah, he ain't had empathy for George Floyd's people, his daughter.
Not. No, he did not.
He didn't care about Trayvon Martin's parents.
No, he did not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I 100% agree with you on that portion of it. You get what you get back what you put out in the world.
But again,
right?
It shouldn't have happened. Again,
no,
100%. It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But here we are. So we're gonna go into Epstein, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm late to the party. I can't believe again that I am agreeing. Again, it's the only time I've ever agreed with her.
Marjorie.
Yeah. That I can actually say that I'm agreeing with her because she is right on this issue. She's still a horrible human being, even though she's right on this issue. Let me just say that again. She is a bigot and a racist herself. So, but she is right on this issue. So I'm gonna call balls and strikes.
I agree. I said the same thing when I heard her point on this. I said she's right.
She's right. I do believe there's some politics involved with it, and what I mean by that is she's looking ahead to be in charge of MAGA once old boy gone. So I think there is some politics into her playing because if you really notice, Trump ain't said nothing about her because he's been going after people that like you come after me, I'm going after you. He ain't said nothing about her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he been going after Macy, whatever his name is, the one that's in charge. You know, trying to get this charge petition going. But with that being said, I'm about to play the next video. It's a little bit longer, it's 5 minutes. So enjoy it because it's really a good one to see exactly what was in this book. And more importantly, they all normalize this. Like I said, I'm late to this party because I did not understand and I did not know and I did not care. I'm gonna just be completely honest. I should have, but we're here now. And I don't care who this brings down. It can bring down Barack Obama. It can bring down.
100%.
It can bring down me.
Mm-hmm.
people need to fry for this. It's a problem. People need to be held accountable for this. So here's the video.
We've now gone through the rest of the book.
Yeah.
And it's really bad.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I mean, but it's not just, if I could just, I'm going to be a little judgy here. It's not just like disgusting in a gross out comedy way. It's disgusting in this guy was obviously a psychopath way. And everybody around him in this book understands that he's a psychopath, and they are also psychopaths, or they were just playing along because they thought it was fun. Because no normal human being could be talked about or depicted in the way that Epstein is depicted by basically everybody who knows him.
So this is what's in the book that I think when you take it in its totality, there are a number of things that are very consistent across the birthday wishes, which is that a great many people made jokes about women and girls.
Mm-hmm.
There are pictures of young girls. Now they're all redacted, and so you can't get all the context from it, but taken as a whole, you see that it was an entire culture in which everyone knew that Epstein was sleeping with underage girls.
That he was obsessed with it.
Yeah. And that they too took it as a joke. So, for example, there's a couple things that jump out in this level of grossness. One is somebody did a sketch of him handing
1983.
balloons. 1983.
And
okay.
He is handing balloons to small children, and he's wearing tattered jeans.
Small female children.
Small female children, yes. Balloons and a lollipop and a sucker. And he's like all busted because he's poor.
And then it cuts to then there's another painting scene drawing of it being 2003, which is when this book was put together for his 50th birthday. And it is a bunch of what is meant to be those same young girls, I guess, or just young girls like them.
Different young girls, because we've gone from 3 of them to 4.
Yeah. And they are, one of them appears to be going down on him. One of them is massaging his feet. They're all in skimpy thong bikinis. But to me, the grossest part is that it says, "What a great country."
What a great country with an exclamation mark.
With an exclamation mark. Meaning, what a great place where you can become so rich that the girls that you once gave balloons to are now doing sexual favors for you. That's one of them. And this is where it's all an inside joke between all of them. It's all funny, is that they have got one of those comically large checks that is meant to be payment from, like, Epstein is selling the woman to Donald Trump for $22,300.
Fully depreciated.
A fully depreciated woman. If you haven't seen the picture, it is drawn sort of around this poem in the curvature of a woman's body, and then it has like demarcations for breasts, little circles. But where Donald Trump's signature is meant to signify sort of the pubic hair of the woman that he is drawing. And the way that they all knew, the way that it was, and then the way that they're all lying about it.
Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz is in there. And Bill Clinton. And I'll tell you the one thing, and it is innocuous other than it has a line in it where he compliments Epstein's childlike curiosity that again takes on like a real different valence when you know what Epstein has done. This was released by Epstein's estate. Okay. So the idea that it was tampered with, that the book was like, it's not Donald Trump's signature, like these things, there's no world. There is no world in which this is not true. Like, you can't make up all of these things. The we went through a rigorous analysis by the Wall Street Journal, but like, you don't even need a rigorous analysis.
There's one entry in it from a woman who says, you know, before I met Jeffrey, I was a 20-year-old divorcee who was working as a waitress. And then after you, I've met Donald Trump and Prince Andrew. And he just lists all these people who are sexual predators.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, no, it is. Again, I mean, a whole bunch of people who we now know are slimebags. She says, I have met Prince Andrew, President Clinton, the Sultan of Brunei, Donald Trump. So again, he's 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 people right there off the top who are questionable. Naomi Campbell, Stephanie Seymour, Peter Brandt, Kevin Spacey. That's great. Michael Jackson.
Perfect.
Again, just like she's listing all of the people that we know. There are some other people in this list. But again, bad. Very bad.
All right. So again, I'm late to the party. I want to first address the picture of him in '83 giving balloons to little girls, and in 2003 surrounded by quote unquote women and girls. And ain't this country great? They all knew.
Yep.
At worst, at best, they all knew. Black, if you don't mind cutting your light on so we can see a little bit better. At best, they all knew.
I think this will be.
At worst, they participated.
Nah, this one good.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, at best, they all knew. At worst, they participated. And it's really astonishing to me that he was it's not. It's really teaching me. I'm starting to understand these secret societies and all those things. And you know me, I'm not one for conspiracies or anything like that. I'm really not. But evidence is evidence. Truth is truth. And so, all right, I'm gonna go to Ronnie first before I give it to you, Black, because I know you can go for Ronnie. What do you feel about?
Make it quick. Again, this goes back to what I said earlier, right? None of this is new. They've been talking about this for shit since I can remember when I was a kid. They was talking about these rich people going to an island. I didn't know it was an Epstein island, but they were talking about these rich people going to these islands, messing around with these young girls since I was a kid, bro. This ain't new.
Mm-hmm.
Now all the details are coming out from a guy that's dead. You can't prosecute him. He's gone, right?
Yeah.
So if you looked at the amount of people, and it was women and men, black, white, whatever, you know what I'm saying, celebrities or whatever it was, that they were going out here messing around with these young ass girls years and decades ago. Now they always say what they always say in the beginning, or a lie can only last for so long, but eventually it's gonna come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually bad stuff, the light's gonna shine on it. This is the time when this light starting to shine on stuff that's already been existent. We just couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we weren't able to know anything about it because it was hidden. Now that light getting light bling, and now people like, whoa, all that stuff that they said decades ago is true.
It's true.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with black people was telling them, hey, these police are beating us up. They killing us. Where they like, where the proof at? I'm telling you, they doing it. Rodney King happens, right? Oh, now it's a video. Oh, they really are doing this stuff. I'm telling you, dude, listen, it's no different from any of that stuff, man. Now it's that light is just shining on, and people are starting to wake up to a lot of these things because they didn't have the opportunity to see, right? Because a lot of people, we visual. We are more visual people than anything, right?
Yeah.
It's more with what we see, right?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, shit, like that motherfucker up, and I'm with you. Any and everybody that's involved with all that shit gotta go. But we already know, and I can tell y'all what's gonna happen with all of this shit. Ain't nothing gonna happen to none of them rich ass people. Or they're gonna have a fall guy. Oh, he's dead. So that's the fall guy. Oh, they got a fall girl. Oh, she locked up at a freaking at a Hilton, basically, of a federal penitentiary.
Yep.
What else gonna happen? You think something else gonna happen? I don't.
Yep. I can't say you're wrong.
I think we screaming at a wall right now, trying to knock it down with our freaking voice. That wall ain't going over anywhere. That wall is sturdy. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
I do. All right, Black, the floor is yours.
I don't think anything is gonna happen to any of them either. I
Mhm.
think the saddest part is the president of the United States is associated with this person, and he's still president. Nobody's calling for his resignation or impeachment, and that's the hurtful part.
Mhm.
That had this been a Democrat, then he would already been impeached and possibly
Yep.
no longer president already. We know
Yep.
that because
Yep.
the right would be screaming loud and
Yep.
clear what they wanted and how this is unbecoming of a president and blah blah blah. But because it's Donald Trump, they find every way to uh allow him or allow this behavior to continue. And like Ronnie said, I knew of Epstein back in early 2000s. I didn't know who he was, but I heard about a rich guy who got his own island and he fly young girls to the island and sleep with them. I heard the story way back then, and come to find out, it was Epstein and all of these people that is associated with him. And I told my wife weeks ago, I wouldn't give a damn if Jesus Christ's name is on that list. Take his ass down too.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. Everybody who's
Yeah.
associated, they need to be taken down. But this country and this world as a whole does not protect children. They will tell you all day
Yeah.
long, oh, we got to protect the children, blah, blah. We can go all the way back to biblical times. They have never, ever protected the children. Children have always been the most vulnerable people, and then the black people, of course. But we have never protected children. And to know that these powerful white men get off on sleeping with 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. I cannot fathom that and how they get off on that. And to know that our president is associated with a man who did that, I don't care if he didn't sleep with a woman. You was at his house. You don't deserve to be president. Bye. You out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we,
And you know it. You knew it. It's one thing to say
yes,
you didn't know. Or when you
yes.
found out, I no longer mess with him no more.
And as much as he lied about he didn't know him, first of all, he didn't know
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, we find out that okay, you did know him. Well, I'd never been to his house. Well, now we find out you've
Yeah.
been at his house,
Yeah.
you've been at
Yeah.
his parties,
Yep.
and you have been with him. I mean, there's tons of pictures out there,
Tons of
and
pictures.
people are still condoning this
Yeah.
and protecting him. You even have black legislature. I heard
Hold on, bro. I
the
got a video on it. It's coming next. It's the next thing we about to talk about because the emasculinity of the Republican Party.
yes,
Because you have, first he said he don't, he really ain't associated with him like that, and he kicked him out when he found out the creep. But then when he's on Air Force One, he says, "No, I kicked him out because he was stealing my girls." That's literally what he said.
yeah, you're right.
He was stealing my girl. That's quote unquote.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Quote unquote on Air Force One. He was stealing my girl, so he had to go. Now, it wasn't about that he was.
And that went right over a lot of people's head. It was like, hold on.
Yeah.
If he's stealing your girls and they are underage, why the hell are they at your hotel?
Yeah. Giving massages or being in a spa or doing anything.
Yes. Yes.
No, man. You know what the kicker is? Now they try to spin this shit and say he was an FBI freaking informant.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
they tried that. They tried that for 2 days.
They came back and recounted
came
that.
Back.
Though.
Yeah,
right. So they
came back.
They just trying to throw things. They trying to throw things.
Yeah, they trying anything that's anything and see what sticks.
Hey, y'all should have heard how hard I laughed on that shit, dog.
And these fools, these MAGA believe it. They absolutely believe or whether they believe it or not, they regurgitate it. I'm gonna just say it like that. They regurgitate it. They don't believe it, but they regurgitate it. Not just the lawmakers, but as well as the people who support him. Because trust me, in the groups that I'm in, they are hook line. It's my fault because I didn't believe or didn't care earlier, and I'll gladly say, my bad. I should have. Now that I do, and now that I know, why isn't your guy who ran on releasing the files? Well, you should have cared. You should have cared. Now, when I ask, why is it a hoax? Because your president says it's a hoax. You said it wasn't a hoax before now. Now you're saying it is a hoax. Well, can you explain to me what exactly is the hoax? Oh, you're asking gotcha questions. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Bro, you better than me. I can't be
Whoa.
on groups like that.
I'm like, hold on. Go ahead.
I got a question for y'all real quick. Which one's more important? And this is just, again, I told y'all they make you look over here when the most important thing that we should be focusing is over there. Which one do you think is more important? This Epstein bullshit that I know, and we all know, ain't nobody going to jail for that shit. Or these freaking states are gerrymandering these elections. Which one do you think is more important that we should be focusing more on? Which one are you hearing more?
You could chew gum and walk at the same time.
I agree, but which one do you think is more in the news? This Epstein bullshit or all these states doing this crazy stuff with their gerrymandering?
Well, if you're on Fox News or any other right wing thing, neither one of them are in the news. And left wing
Epstein
news,
is everywhere.
Epstein is everywhere.
I ain't even talking about freaking that gerrymandering. They should be focusing more on that. And then
again,
they still beat them in the head with this other bullshit.
They can chew gum and walk at the same time. So what they need to do is continue to hit on this and continue to talk about gerrymandering and everything else, and tell the American people why things matter and do better messaging. That's that, and we need to have a whole pod just on the Democratic Party of doing better messaging. But before we go further, I want to get into the emasculinity of the GOP. So this is real quick because I'm just play the video.
Well, I don't know. I mean, anybody can do a signature.
You think really someone might have just forged this somehow?
Yeah, I mean, somehow it's so
He's
easy
an
to
idiot.
do.
From what I see, it's not a signature. I've seen Donald Trump sign a million things.
This doesn't look like his signature to you?
Nope.
I highly doubt that it is. Yeah. I mean, how someone could have forged this? Well, are we talking about the birthday card?
The letter to Trump, apparently.
Oh, I would, that's new for me. I've not seen that.
We'll let other people decide whether it's real or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Trump's signature in letters to George Conway and our own Lawrence O'Donnell show striking similarities to the 2003 birthday note provided to the Oversight Committee by the Epstein estate. Other outlets like the New York Times have examined several letters not independently reviewed by NBC News, but they reached the same conclusions. But Trump continues to double down, denying he signed or drew the letter and telling NBC News that Epstein is, quote, a dead issue.
I just want to say before we continue on, he said, it started with the letter doesn't exist. It's fake.
Yep.
It never is. It doesn't exist at all. Now we're down to I didn't sign it. I didn't create that drawing.
Listen. Y'all pay attention to what's happening, bro. Listen to what I'm about to tell y'all, bro. What's gonna happen? And this is the question. This is the question they should have asked those freaking same people: is what happens when you find out that he did sign that letter?
Mm-hmm. They'll say
that's the question they should have been asking about, because it's it's allegedly that it is his. They're not gonna these news outlets aren't gonna publish that. Because he can sue them for defamation, bro.
Exactly.
Well, he already has. He already sued the Wall Street, the Washington Post over this.
Because he's gonna lose.
Yeah, he's gonna lose.
Right?
Because they got to do discovery. He won't even get it to discovery. He'll quit before then. But it's not about.
I thought they pulled that.
No, he didn't pull anything yet. But it's not about. It's not about whether or not he can win the case. It's about the messaging that he can say, I'm fighting this tooth and nail. And you about to see this here in a second, because I'm about to play the other part of the video. But all of these men, when Access Hollywood happened before he got elected in 2016, they all ran from him. They all said, obviously he shouldn't have said this and all this stuff. Now they went to locker room talk, but they all said it was him. He's gotten to the point now where he can say, whatever I say, y'all gonna do.
Yep.
So if I say it's not real, y'all gonna say it's not real. It's the same thing that he did to the Senate when he put up unqualified people like RFK, when he put up unqualified people like Hexev, unqualified people like Chelsea Gabbard, unqualified people like what's the FBI guy? He put all of these Cash Patel. Yeah, he put all these unqualified people, and he said you will vote for them. He has taken their masculinity and femininity at every turn. And that's where we are. So I'm gonna just play the other half. So you guys
I
go
just
ahead.
think he
Real
got
quick.
shit on everybody. To be honest with you, I
No,
think they all.
no,
I
they
think
are.
they do.
I'm not gonna say he doesn't have anything on him, but what I
think
will
they got
say
shit on
is
everybody.
he definitely has. He definitely has his following, and he knows following, and they're scared of his following as much as anything. So here's the second half of it.
You said he didn't sign that check, that he didn't sign the birthday card that he allegedly signed. So what is the theory, since these documents came from the Epstein estate? Who is, I guess in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now that is absorbing many of the liberal cable channels on television is a hoax that is being perpetuated by opportunistic Democrats.
What exactly is the hoax? I'm just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax
then?
is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care about victims of crime, when they have done nothing.
I just want to stop it right there. She did not answer the question.
Not at all.
She's not gonna answer that. She's not gonna answer that question. Listen, before they listen, y'all don't understand how this at that level, man. They got people that literally their whole. Y'all ever watch that movie or that series called Ray Donovan?
Yeah, I watched it, right? Yeah.
So they got people that are way higher than him at levels to deflect all of this stuff, man. At that level, you think like they always say people are 6 degrees of separation, right? 6 degrees. Everybody, somebody 6 down the line. Everybody's pretty much connected, right? What you think it is at the level what they at? You think it's still 6 degrees of separation? I don't. I think it's maybe 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah, everybody know everybody.
So right. So if you pull one person down, you're gonna have to pull this whole tree down. They're not gonna allow that whole tree to fall, bro. It's not gonna happen. It's too much money in it. So all this stuff, I think, for me, it's just my opinion, bro.
So again,
I would obviously discount anything that she's saying because obviously she's not gonna say anything.
She's a terrible human as well because she lies every day.
She's been paid a lot. She's a professional liar.
I want to add this though. He could have said, "Yeah, I signed the book. I didn't know he was a creep. You know, it was just in jest, and I moved on." You know what I mean?
Yep.
But instead, he has to continue to lie. I'll never forget when one of my sons, I caught him red-handed stealing. And he refused to admit it. And the punishments got harder and harder and harder because if you can't admit that you did wrong, you can never do better and learn from that mistake.
Yeah. Here's the difference, Bobby. There's no dad for him. Who's his dad that's going to give him a punishment?
Yeah, at this point, nobody.
You don't have right.
It should be. It should be. Let me say this. Right. What it should be is the American people in Congress, 100%. In the Supreme Court. That's who it should 100%. Be. It is 100%. Not, but 100%. That's who it should be.
100%. So that's the difference. That's why they're gonna deny. No, Epstein denied that shit, even with all that bullshit they had on him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, are you kidding me? Here's some videos of you fucking this young girl. What you mean you didn't do that? Wasn't you?
Yeah.
This ain't R. Kelly. This ain't you writing these notes and these checks. No, that ain't me. That dude denied that shit to the end, bro.
Yep.
So
Maxine's still denying. Yeah.
100%.
Right.
What you think this man gonna do? You think he gonna go out there and apologize? Hell no. And they're like, why don't he just say what he wants to say? He's not gonna do that because if he does that, the tree that he is holding on to, he has a base on, or he has a root that grows off of that, is too powerful, bro. It's not going to happen. They need to focus on that gerrymandering bullshit, shit that you can't control, because this shit is distractions to me.
No, obviously, it's not. I think it's important.
No, it's very important. What I'm saying is nothing's going to happen to them at all. All we're gonna do is talk about it. They should be asking her, hey, what's going on in Texas in the gerrymandering thing? Is Trump trying to steal 5 seats in the Congress? That's what they should be, or the representatives.
But that's the thing. Is nothing is going to happen with these seats that they gonna gerrymander, mid-decade as well. It's a twofer, really, to be honest with you. But let me finish the rest of the video, and then we can continue on.
To solve crimes when they have done nothing to lock up child
It's all about
pedophiles
crime.
and child
Mhm.
rapists across the country, and when they are now using victims as political props to try and, again, smear the president of the United States and drag on this bad story about him. It is a distraction. The president did not write that letter. He did not sign those documents. He maintains that position, and that position will be argued in court by his lawyers. The president is very confident he's going to win this case.
Yeah, and so he's going to keep that same posture of you're going to argue it in court until it dies down enough where he doesn't have to talk about it anymore, and then the case will be dismissed.
Listen, they never gonna admit to that stuff, man. Remember the Medgar Evers girl that lied her whole life
Till a deathbed. Yeah, a deathbed. I know.
They
I
had all the
understand.
proof in the world. They're not going to admit to any of that. And how does she know that he didn't sign it? Was she there when the document got signed? It's because people telling her what to say. Hey, this is what you're going to go.
He
say.
told her.
No, right.
He told her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's telling her this is what you're going to say. Let me look at what you're going to say. Yep, that's the answer you're going to go up there and do. She's getting shotgun. That's why they put women as mostly press secretaries, because more people aren't as
they can't get attacked as much. Yep.
On especially something as delicate as this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As a woman, they're gonna vilify her ass, and you know what's gonna happen to her? She's gonna, when she leaves office or when she gets kicked out or whatever it's gonna be, whatever.
She gonna go be a governor somewhere.
That's what happened to the last one.
Yep, she's gonna go
That's
write
what
some
happened to
book,
the
and
last
she's gonna say I was the victim. All these powerful.
You
men
don't
made me do this
understand.
shit.
You don't
That's what's gonna
understand. People right now,
That's
if you're
what's gonna happen. She's
attached
gonna
to
be the victim.
Donald Trump, you are ascending. You're not declining. And that is the problem with our electorate, is they are rewarding bullshit. They are rewarding this man and his party and the lies, because they know that they're blatant lies. Like, you can't, come on, man. It's too many pictures, it's too many situations, it's so many times that you say, we know he like him young. Like, literally, he said these, we all know it now. And he still is like, fuck you. You don't know what happened. I'm gonna lie to you, and you're just gonna take that. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Black, you got anything else? Because we're gonna.
In my heart, I feel that nothing is gonna happen. But then I got to go back to what I have always grew up knowing: a lie can't live forever. So you can sit here all day and say what didn't happen and lie yourself out of it. It can't live forever. And that's what I hold on to, that politically and what I know how this world operates, I would say nothing gonna happen to white men when they do stuff like this, especially when they raping young women. It's been going on for millennia and nothing happens. But the other side of me feels that a lie can't can't live forever, and eventually it's going to take its toll and bring the whole system down. When that happens, I don't know. I don't think this Epstein thing is gonna go away,
No.
but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna bring Trump down either. So what will happen? I'm not sure. What gonna be the outcome? I'm not sure. But I think people are going to start turning. I thought it would have happened already. But I think more and more people are going to start turning against him. And at that point is when, just my opinion, Congress is going to feel comfortable enough to start disassociating themselves from him. And once that happens, he's done. I don't know. That's just how I feel, but I don't know when it's gonna happen or if it's gonna happen. I just feel that if you look at a lie and you look at people, everybody's over here supporting them now. But I think this thing is gonna go on long enough where more and more people gonna look at the economy is gonna be a problem. They're gonna look at what's going on
That's
around
it.
the world. These other countries are aligning themselves and becoming more powerful than the United States right now.
Russia
And
just went against NATO.
exactly.
Russia just went against all of NATO, and he's like,
Exactly.
"That's what we doing now," and that's
Exactly.
it. If Biden would
Exactly.
have, man,
So everybody is people around the world know how weak he is. They know that.
yeah,
And they
oh
know
yeah,
he's not going to do anything. It's just his base still feels like he's powerful, he's strong, he's gonna end these wars, and he's a laughing stock.
He's a laughing
And
stock.
yes, and I think more people are going to wake up and realize that when they realize their bank account or their stock account is going down because our economy is going to shit, which I hope it don't, but it is possible.
But that no.
With all these countries aligning themselves, it's possible. And when we start moving our goods, then we're gonna become stagnant. Once we become stagnant, that's when the stock market is gonna fail because people gonna get scared. And once that happens, I think this shit gonna start moving faster than shit, and everybody gonna be like, "Oh, it's time to jump ship," because it's going downhill.
And the biggest problem with all of that to me, because I think the economy is going to be the one that seals the deal for him, just like it did Bush
Yep.
or Iraq did as well. But I think the biggest thing is going to be is once the world realizes they don't need America, they not coming back.
They not coming back.
And the world hasn't needed America. They didn't feel they needed America. Well, I would say it this way. They felt they had needed America since 1945.
Mm-hmm.
It's
We
been
made
almost
we
80
made them
years.
feel like
80
they
years. Yeah,
needed us.
yes. And now that they're aligning themselves and making their own deals and doing all these different things, and now they're going to get to the point where they're going to know, because they're going to have a year or two under Trump to actually work it and see, you know what, we don't need them because we can't buy our soybeans from Brazil,
Yep.
or we can't get our corn from India, or what all different places. We don't need them as much. We shit out of luck at that point.
Shit out of luck.
And I don't know where we go from there, because then we're not the world currency. Then we can't continue as a government to run at a deficit where we can outspend what we're taking in. So now we got to create austerity where we got to cut down Social Security, Medicaid, pensions, like, whether it's military or federal or whatever else, and healthcare and all of the Medicaid, Medicare, all these different things, and raise taxes at the same time. And now we're Greece from 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not paying attention, bro. Ain't nothing gonna happen to the American. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. America is one of those papers. It's too big to fail. We're the biggest consumer. Hold on, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Yeah, you see these alliances, right? You see Iran, you see North Korea and China and Soviet Union, all them up, and they or in Venezuela, they're all coming together, right? That's a small portion. They still ain't gonna have enough bread for all the other people that are still connected to this place. Understand this, right? The American people, or America, and this is just how every country is kind of. You think that they're gonna get to a point to where they're gonna say, "Oh, we don't need the American dollars. We're not gonna do this. You think they ain't gonna start no damn war for that?
Hold
you
on.
think? Hold on.
You saying the U.S. ain't gonna start a war for that?
You don't think they won't?
Who started war with who? They damn sure ain't about to start now with China, or Russia,
listen
or
to
North Korea.
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Wars ain't always got to be kinetic.
Or the European Union.
Listen, y'all thinking kinetic. I'm not thinking kinetic. I'm thinking wars aren't always fought on a battlefield with people shooting at each other. You got to think deeper than that. I don't know if we'll ever have a war like that. It'll be proxy people. It'll be us sending not India, but some other country to go fight these. They're already doing it. That's why all these other people are fighting.
Okay, hold on.
Hear me out. Hear me out. What they're gonna do is they're gonna intellectually start messing with people, and they'd already start doing it, right? You got to think about how big these people are, man. And I don't think we can't understand it, because the money that they're dealing with, man, is so crazy. It don't make sense. They are a tree. Hold on. They are a tree that is thousands of years old, and all these branches, United States, and Trump is probably some leaf on there, some damn where they'll cut that fucking leaf off, and that branch will still grow. Don't ever get that shit twisted where you think that it's going to be these conglomerate people like Russia and all these other people. They're already messing with it. Russia's not going to be able to fight anybody unless they want to freaking like get destroyed. But their economy is already shit. China, yes, they're our closest competitors right now, And it's going to take them 15, 20 years to catch up. People don't realize that stuff. India's nowhere. India's nowhere near that. Venezuela's nowhere near that. Any of the other countries that's connected.
It's not. We gotta stop. Go ahead, Black. Go ahead, Black. Go ahead, Black. I'm gonna let Black go first. Go ahead, Black.
Shoot it. Go ahead, shoot it.
I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Chip. Maybe to
think
come
about
back.
it, because I'm gonna say this. We are not talking about. You're right. All of these countries individually cannot compare to the United States. But once they get used to us not being the number one dominant superpower and number one into everything and being able to control everything, and they can create partial deals here, partial deals there, and the dollar becomes weakened as it continues to be.
Already, yep.
We will not, and then you keep talking about the American bread. Now we got all this money, and we do. But where did that money come from?
Everywhere.
It comes from all these other countries. Because again, we already know this. We don't produce anything here. I mean, we produce farm stuff. They already found other places to get their farm stuff from. The cars, we produce some cars here. Like, so when it gets to the point, we don't produce any. Our major exports is goods and services.
Weapons.
I'm not good at service. It's services. It's services and military
And
weapons.
oil.
They're starting not to buy our. They're starting not to buy our weapons. We don't give as much oil as all the other countries do, but we do export oil. We do export oil. We do. But again, there's other countries that can take all of. So once you get to a point where they know we don't need the USA for this, that, and the other, it's hard to come back from that. Like these farmers. Once Brazil get a foothold and it's always going to be cheaper, they always going to use Brazil. So that's the thing where it's like, I understand what you're saying. Like right now, you got to stop looking at us at a vantage point of we on top. We always going to be on top because we got the most money. We got the most money because we created that since the 1945. We are talking about a new world order where 1945. What has happened over the last 80 years no longer exists. So now we have to look at the world as if we don't matter as much. And just that as much means a lot to us. We ain't at 4% unemployment for no reason. It's because we are still, the world revolves around our economy. Once the world stops and this country can do all these different things, I said this already many times, we will continue to go down, and now unemployment will go up. Now rates will continue to go up because we continue to borrow more than we going to spend more than we actually take in. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Go ahead, Black. Did you find
what
your
made
point?
us a superpower? Two things: nuclear weapons and the fact we forced our dollars to be traded around the world. The other countries that are lining themselves up are coming off of our dollar and said, no, we don't have to buy oil in your dollar anymore or use your dollar to buy oil. Once that happens, and the nations that are forming, they got nuclear weapons too. Not as many as we got. I understand that. And I don't think we're going to go to a nuclear war because that's going to destroy the world. So I don't think that will happen. So the only thing that made us a superpower was, or holding on to us being a superpower, is the dollar. Look how much China owns our dollar. They can recall their money right now and send us into a depression. That's how much the dollar that they own. So if China right now, we cannot mess with China. We can't, because they own enough of us to take us down. They know that, and I'm pretty sure the economists outside of Trump know that. So I hear what you're saying, and I know that there's some big people above Trump. He just a leaf on a branch. I understand that. But what is going on around the world? The United States is losing their superpower status. And these countries are aligning themselves up to take us, not really take us down, but where they no longer depend on us. And once that happens, we will start living in another era where people aren't afraid of us anymore.
Absolutely. We had one comment that I just want to talk about. And Elgin, please go to the YouTube, like, subscribe, and start watching over there. But this one right here, Britain, because it's a great comment. Britain was too big to fail. Look what happened to
Absolutely.
them.
So can I talk about that? Okay, so
Absolutely.
we're not we don't have the most nuclear weapons. That's actually Russia, right?
Yeah, Russia does. Yeah.
So it ain't got, again, it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be kinetic. All these countries know that. They're not, it's gonna be too much of a loss. They're not gonna, I don't think they're on, I shouldn't say that. I hope we never get to the point where they're gonna start using kinetic weapons where we killing thousands and millions of people and for no apparent reason other than fucking really bottom line is money, right? So that it's not going to be that, man. So what I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to say is Britain failed is because what they tried to do is they tried to force their way into things. They try to destabilize some countries in Africa. This is where it's all come from, right? The Africans said, hell no, you're not about to do that shit. We don't need your money. And Britain is not America. Britain is an island. you guys do know that, right?
Yeah, I completely understand. Britain don't have as many people as us. The economy isn't as big as us standalone. Absolutely.
The point is, like, you can't compare that economy or Britain. You can't compare that country to this country. You can't compare any country to this country other than China. China's catching up. Yes, they are. They are a fucking beast. They are a problem. Everybody knows that. But what they need to do and what people don't understand is you ain't gonna beat our prices, bro. You can, if say for instance, hold on, hear me
Our
out.
prices on what?
Our prices on what? Oh,
Hear me out.
Thank
Hear
you.
me out.
On what?
Hear me
On what,
out.
please?
Hear me
Okay.
out. So what's
Ronnie,
gonna
we've
happen
been
is-
hearing you out. It ain't making sense right now.
You're not letting me finish my point, bro. What I'm trying to tell you is, even though these people are conglomerates and they're getting together with each other, right? Correct. All these other people that's these people are going to say the U.S. is not going to be this power. They're going to lose their super status or whatever. You think they allow that shit to happen?
You still ain't said on what. Let's go to the elementary basics.
The consumers here are listen.
On
We the whole world's biggest customers. You think they're gonna cut the biggest customers off?
If I ain't got no money to spend, I'm not a customer any longer. If I can't go in the store because I ain't got no money, I'm not a customer. Okay. And that's what I think you need to wrap your mind around.
I understand
that
it.
We are customers because the world revolves around us right now, economically. And again, like you said, nobody can beat our prices. Again, on what?
And all those people that's
on what? There is nothing. And I'm gonna just say this: two things. There is nothing that we produce in this country that can't be produced somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And what we did have a monopoly on, or more of a monopoly on, was intellectually. We are now stopping immigrants and stopping people who are the smartest people in the world. Always wanted to come to America. That's always been the case. Whether it's as students in high school, students in college, or once they finish their college and be able to come to the States and work in Silicon Valley and other places in the country. That is no longer happening. Mm-hmm. So we're losing our intellectual property as well. That is going to other places. So you have to look at this beyond what we are today, because we are no longer that. We are becoming no longer that. Go ahead, Ronnie, respond, and I'm gonna give it to Black, and then we're gonna start to shut it down.
I think we're gonna agree to disagree on some of that point. You're right. It's the United States. Is the United States declining in how the world views us? Absolutely. 100%. Right. That makes perfect sense. But I don't care. You can add up all those people that are doing their thing together. They're still not going to add up to what we as a country. And I'm not talking. I'm not just looking at today. I'm looking down the line. I'm looking 10, 20 years down the line.
That's what we're looking at.
So what I'm saying is, like, it's people. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. Is it a possibility? Because all regimes in all countries eventually topple. All of them just descend eventually, right? Eventually, but not in 250. Not in 250 years. It's not going to happen. Not the amount of money that they got to spread all around this world. I'm just saying, it's like 10, 15 years down the line. If we continue down this track, absolutely, this is going to happen. But the powers that be are not going to allow this to happen. Like you said, we talked about this earlier. Some of those people are starting to wake up and saying, what the fuck? We're losing too much money. We're going to cut this little leaf off and get this tree back. It's going to take a long time to get it grown back, but it's going to take It's gonna happen. This is my opinion.
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir,
Go ahead,
sir.
Bobby.
Just earlier this week or the end of last week, Zuckerberg, Amazon, Apple, all of them had a meeting with Trump, and they all was on their knees giving the praises that y'all was giving me at the beginning of this podcast as a joke. They all did that, and Zuckerberg was quote on Mike saying,
But you deserve.
"Yeah, I didn't
Hold
know.
on. That piece of shit. Don't compare you to that motherfucker. You deserve that shit. You deserve our praise, bro.
I appreciate
so
that.
I'm sorry. I got to cut you off
I
on that
appreciate
point.
that.
So don't put yourself in the same
I
category
appreciate
on
that,
that, bro.
I
I'm sorry.
appreciate
I had to fix you on that one. Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Thank you. But my point is, Zuckerberg afterwards, quote on a hot mic saying, "Yeah, you know, I didn't know what number to go with. I hope that was a good enough number because it's all bullshit."
Right.
But so the powers like the oligarchs, the people who have the most money in our country, aren't saying shit. So the scenario that you said that the people that got the money, they're going to say this, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They're all lining up behind it because they know right now the federal government has so much power that they will lose money, even though they got $250 billion. Zuckerberg, Amazon, Bailouts, and Elon wasn't there because Elon ain't invited no more.
Right. I wonder why that
All
is.
of these people have so much money where even if you try to shut my shit down, I'm still good. They're still bribing him. They're still, on their knees for him and all those other things. So you have to stop looking at this like the people that should say, because usually in a functioning democracy, business owners, Congress people would say wrong is wrong, right is right, and fix this. Nobody is right now, or not enough people is. I'll say it like that. Not enough people are right now. With that being said, Black, go ahead and finish us off, and then we're gonna go.
Ronnie, I love your optimism, and I hope you're
Yeah.
right. And I agree, nothing is going to happen over the next 10 to 15 years. But you said that what nation has fallen this fast? What nation has grown this fast? It don't happen. United States has grown to be a superpower in less than 400 years. No nation on this earth has been able to do that, to my knowledge.
Wow.
So can we fall that fast? We could, especially because we're not built on anything. We don't have the resources in the, I should say we don't have. The way we are set up, we depend on everybody else for our stuff. We don't produce anything in this country where everybody outside of this country needs us or need whatever resource that we have. So when you look at how we are set up, we are dependent on the world. We moved all our businesses out of the
Yeah.
United States back in the early 80s when Reagan tried to destroy the unions and wanted to get the businesses out so he can basically break the unions legally. And by everybody's getting out, now it became, they got it out of first or got it out of the country before for that reason. But then it became, oh, we can get cheap labor. Oh, we ain't got to pay retirement. Oh, we ain't got to pay this. And now it grew and grew and grew. So now we don't produce anything. So how can we stabilize ourselves and support ourselves if all other big countries around or big nations around the world get together and say we no longer need the US? And our dollar is the weight is as high as it, although it has fallen tenfold in the last about 50 years or so. The $10 back in the 80s is now worth $1. So our dollar is slowly declining, and if they get off the dollar for the oil, for the petrol, because that's what support our dollar right now is the petrol dollar. If that changes, I can't see anybody saying shit. We don't need you, because that's the only reason they need us now to trade our dollar and to borrow, buy our bonds to support us and not support us, but to
Pay for our
yes,
federal
basically.
government. Pay for
Basically.
our country.
So
I mean,
if China recalls that, if they get a hair up their ass and say, no, we want our money back, bro, we're in trouble. And people have economists have played this out.
it has been
The
happening.
economist has played this
Yes.
out and played this out and said, if this happened, we done. We done. And you think Zuckerberg gonna come and say, oh, I got $500 billion. I'm gonna pump that into the system. And all these rich people's and powers to be, and Zuckerberg and all them people, they are small in comparison to the big people, because there's another layer above them too. I understand that. So what they are going to do, I can't see them coming in. And back in the New Deal, the rich people did pump money into the US, and into our government, into our system, to keep it afloat when we was going down. Will it happen again? I'm not sure. But if it does, they got to get something out of it. They not just giving that money up. So I love your optimism, brother. But the way things looking and the way I understand our system is set up, and looking at what's going on around the world and watching other countries align themselves, which they never done in the past, something is going down. They ain't doing it for nothing. They ain't
No,
doing
I'm
it for
with you.
nothing.
Did that have y'all talked about Trump ordering the flags half mast? What?
I just
I'm sorry, Black. I hear
seen
you,
that.
Black, but I hear you.
Yes.
That just
I'm posting
fucking
what
God.
what Cowboy Keith just said.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
let's not even comment on it. That shit gonna piss
Posting
me
what
off,
Cowboy
bro.
Keith.
Let's not even talk about that. Let's just go on to something else. Let's continue. I
Oh
agree
my
with
fucking God.
let's find something else to talk about, bro. Because that shit gonna irk the shit out of me, and I don't even want to hit on that, bro. Let's just talk about.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't do
That
it,
hurt
y'all.
my
We can't
feelings, bro.
because
Like, are you fucking kidding me? You
Yeah.
goddamn.
All right.
I don't want to go there,
I'm gonna
bro.
put a timer. I'm gonna give you 1
Fuck it.
minute.
I'm gonna
give
say
you
what I
1
gotta say.
minute.
If you a
Yeah,
motherfucking,
you
if
got
you're
1
a
minute. Go
country
ahead, man.
that allows these motherfuckers to lower a fucking flag for a racist ass motherfucker like that, and I'm sorry that his children lost their father, but the reasons why you freaking lower a flag is specific to certain things. That guy does not hit any other boxes that require or should have us lowering the fucking flag for that piece of shit. You understand what I mean? This is the kind of shit that irks people a lot of times, where you think, like, hopefully this start waking people up seriously and start really paying attention to this kind of foolishry. And that's why we are the laughing stocks in certain areas in this fucking country. This bullshit. And if you agree with it, please come on and please put out your comments to justify that the whole country, the president of the United States, will freaking lower a flag. That's basically one of his friends. Yeah. He has no political affiliations to nothing. He's a freaking commentator that likes to debate things. Are you kidding me? Let's freaking, next time somebody dies, let's do it for Rush Limbaugh. Let's do it for any of them freaking clown ass motherfuckers that have their damn racist damn viewpoints, to drop a flag down, to show our solidarity for some racist ass people. If you don't take this as one of those type of times that you understand how fully jacked up this motherfucker is, then you are the problem. That's all I gotta say, bro.
I'm gonna leave
that
it
shit
there.
hurt my feelings right
I'm
there.
gonna leave it there.
I'm like, what the fuck? I know motherfucking soldiers. I know people that risk their lives over right now, that died and ain't get their goddamn a flag lowered for them. It's people that are freaking sleeping in a desert right now, risking their fucking lives, that lost their lives, and get a fucking flag that's lower for them. And you gonna lower your flag for this piece? Oh, bro, let's get off of that shit.
No, if you don't mind, I would like for you to say your military attributes, just so people can understand where you're, if you don't mind, if you like sharing what you would like to share, your military attributes on why you feel the way you feel.
All right, so for me, my background is I did 30 years in the military, right? I've been all around the world. I've been in places where I can't talk, but it's things that's happened out in the world that people don't really realize. And there are people out there that lost their lives, that we had to literally sit and watch their bodies before we flew them back home. And no one hears about these damn people. And they young people, right? And they didn't get a flag. They got a flag draped over their coffin. They got a flag folded and given to their mama, their mothers, or their parents, or whoever their spouses were. But they didn't lower a freaking flag, our flag, for them. Those are the people that you should be draping the flag. That flag should actually always be half mast, because we got people overseas that are risking their lives to ensure that we have the rights to do the shit that we're doing that they're trying to take away. Actually, they're not trying, they're taking away. That is so disrespectful to me to acknowledge a person that doesn't even see every person in this fucking country as an equal. And but we gonna give him or this guy I can't even get to the word, bro. To give him this type of level,
military
this type of
honors,
level
the military, yeah,
of courtesy or
yeah,
consideration
yeah,
for somebody that divides a country. You understand? I
yep,
don't understand that. Please
absolutely.
explain that to me. Anybody that wanted to explain that to me and justify any of this shit. That fucking just, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Black. I know y'all was talking, but that when I read, I was
No,
like, no fucking
no.
way. No fucking way. Are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
listen. If y'all if people that know me and they hear me on this thing and you support that shit, please unfriend me because I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out when I see you. That's on site. That's some disrespectful ass shit.
I agree. We got Micah on. Are you there, Micah? Micah?
Can
Oh,
you
there
hear
you
me?
go. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
how y'all
got you.
doing this
Hold on,
evening?
I'm gonna put you.
Um,
We are good. We are good. We supposed to be shutting it down,
I
but
know.
but
I
but
promise
but
you. I
Cowboy
promise you.
Keith, done
He
started
started up.
stirred up a hornet
I'm gonna
nest.
keep it under 20 seconds.
No, take your time.
No.
Go ahead.
So, Ronnie,
I'm even giving everybody their own floor. You got the floor.
Ronnie, you see how you got all fired up just now? That's what we've been trying to tell you, that they're doing all these things that are not logical, and like you're saying, the protections are there. They're removing those things. So that's like the perfect example of what we've been trying to say to you.
Listen, I understand that. I fully understand what we was talking about. What I try to do is I'm a different perspective kind of guy, right? You guys know me for shit a long time, right? I get fired up about certain stuff, right? Some things you got control over, some things you don't. Some things you can't allow things to perpetrate your thoughts, because a lot of it we don't fully understand it because we don't have control over some of that stuff. But this type of shit right here, bro, I know how disrespectful this guy. This man ain't never fucking served a day in his life. 90% of the people that he has in this cabinet have never served a day in their lives to freaking support this country, other than they're lining their pockets up. I understand that fully. So I'm with you 100%. I hear y'all. I fully take what your guys are saying. I'm an optimist in certain situations. In this type of fucking shit, there is zero optimism. There is zero freaking reasons why you would lower a flag for a piece of shit like that. I'm sorry. I know he lost his life today. He was murdered, and it shouldn't have happened. But you do not recognize a person like that, period. Other than say, thoughts and prayers, we're gonna support his family and keep it fucking moving. But for you to freaking lower this flag. Did he lower the flag for one of the Congress people that died?
No.
What was it, John?
No, the Minnesota people, no, absolutely not.
I'm done, bro. I don't even want to talk about that shit no more, bro.
I'm out.
I think that this type of shit just don't have me fired the fuck up, bro. Because I'm one of the ones, bro. That's the shit that irks the shit out of me right there, bro. That shit. And now what's gonna happen? All the people I know that support this motherfucker, I'm gonna ask. That's the question I'm gonna ask them. If they support that shit, and I don't care what connection you have with me, you support that shit, your ass is fucking done with me. Period.
That's your LT moment. That's your LT. That's your LT.
Yeah.
Welcome back to America, Ronnie.
I do. I've been here for 51 years, baby. I listen. I know all about it. But that shit right there, no sir.
All right, Black. Go ahead and say your piece before we
This is a despicable move. It's a slap in the face to everybody that has served to protect that damn flag. And for him to lower it for a racist person who's never served in the military, never served our country in Senate, in some elected position. This dude is famous for being a bigot and a racist.
Bigot.
And you are going to lower the flag for him. What does that say to the rest of America? It's a true slap in the face. He don't give a damn. about honor, courage, respect, none of that. He don't care. You can disrespect our flag for somebody like that. And that's how he can put up all these damn generals and shit statues back up, because he don't care.
He don't give a shit.
He's
Yeah.
only concerned about one set of people. One set of people.
It's that
That's
simple.
it.
It's that simple. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm being very sincere. If you crying a tear rhetorically or figuratively for Charlie Kirk, you have tendencies. You have racial tendencies, racist tendencies. I'm just because it has to be said, and you could say he's God fearing, is this, is that, is the other. The man was racist. He was, and you may have found ways to excuse it, just like you find ways to excuse Trump. But the facts and the truth is the truth. You may not want to hear that racism don't matter that much to you, because that's what I would say to people. People vote for Trump because racism just wasn't that high on their priority list. And that's very true. But the bottom line is, at some point, you have to recognize and understand that all of these policies that he's doing is overt racist. They really are. They're overt racist and overt classism and economic classism. That the people but so many people that rather care about the racist part and ignore the racist part ignore the economic classism part, like the farmers in the beginning of this, our pod, to be able to get people out of this country or we're going to half mast for Charlie Kirk. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, we're going. I do have something for us to learn today. And I thought about not doing it just because I wanted to cut the pod and everything like that. But I feel like I'm not going to let their racist bullshit keep us from keeping on our platform and doing what we're doing, which is helping us being able to vent, helping us to be able to learn. And so we're going to learn about our dear brother here, and then we're going to clean our palate and shut it down. So with that being said, let's learn.
The job of a U.S. Marshal is to apprehend fugitives, criminals on the run from justice. In my day, that meant tracking the most dangerous men in the country on horseback for days and weeks at a time, often through hostile territory and harsh weather. You do your best to get the drop on your man and bring him in peacefully, but sometimes he gets the drop on you, and then all bets are off. My name is Bass Reeves. I was born into slavery in the woods of northwest Arkansas in 1838, property of one William Steele Reeves, an Arkansas state legislator. When I was still young, the Reeves family moved from Arkansas to North Texas. I was treated somewhat differently than other slaves in that Mr. Reeves taught me to shoot a rifle. In fact, I was such a good shot, he used to enter me into contests and won many a bet that way. When the Civil War broke out and Mr. Reeves' son, George, went to fight for the South, he sent me along to serve as a valet and bodyguard for the young man. I saw some battles in the years that followed, and I learned that the fight was about ending slavery. But how long would the war rage on? How long would I have to wait for freedom? One night, I saw an opportunity to escape. I took off on horseback and headed for familiar territory in Arkansas. I knew I'd be caught sooner or later if I stayed there, so I continued across the Arkansas border into Indian Territory, a place that many runaway slaves would go for refuge at that time. During the years that followed, I befriended members of the 5 tribes that had been forced to travel west on what became known as the Trail of Tears: the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Muskogee, and Seminole. I learned their languages and their practices, especially when it came to tracking and living off the land. The Civil War ended, and with it, all slavery in the United States. At last, I was able to move back to Arkansas, where I got married and built a farm of my own. The 10 years after the war was some of the happiest of my life. Then in 1875, Isaac Parker was appointed federal judge over the Indian Territory. He was looking for brave men of good character who knew the area, spoke the languages, and were a crack shot. And well, that was me on all counts. So I became a deputy U.S. Marshal, the first black man to hold that job this side of the Mississippi. And over the next 30 years, I used my tracking, communication, and shooting skills to apprehend over 4,000 fugitives from justice. It was the most dangerous job in the most dangerous place at the most dangerous time in American history. And I was good at it. I was also in a unique position to get close to black outlaws who weren't expecting a black man to be a U.S. Marshal and apprehend them safely when their guard was down. But occasionally, despite my best efforts, I would have to draw my gun. In the decades after the Civil War, I saw black men elected to both state and federal office, and it seemed that America was on a good path forward. I saw Indian Territory become the state of Oklahoma, but before long, racist groups began using violence, intimidation, and unconstitutional laws and practices to keep blacks from voting and holding office in the South. The place that I helped bring law and order to so it could become a state was now using the law to discriminate against me. I suppose I was well respected enough that I was able to keep doing my job in spite of racism, but it made my heart sink to see the country take such a big step backward. But by far, the hardest thing I had to do in my whole career as a deputy U.S. Marshal was to arrest my own son, Benny. He was a rash young man. He lost his cool in an argument with his wife and shot her. He swore that he wouldn't be taken in alive. But when he saw it was me that came to get him, he surrendered. The question each of us must answer for ourselves is, will you always pursue peace, knowing that it isn't always possible? And will you always pursue justice, knowing that sometimes it will break your heart?
All right, so that's what we learned today. Yeah, I'm gonna just say, bring me on me. That's a good example of balls and strikes. It would be hard for me to turn my son in, to be honest. Uh, just being honest, it would be very hard for me to turn my son in. But you know, I appreciate his intellectual honesty in that frame. But yeah, I'm gonna say this: if y'all have anything that we need to learn as a people, please send it my way. No, I mean, and it doesn't have to be black. It really doesn't. Just for us to learn that is innovative, that is new, that's something that we don't know. Send it our way, as a community, so that we can learn more about it. With that being said, it's time to move to my favorite segment, I will say, because this is what we do after every show, which is we clean our palate. Black, I hope you don't steal mine. You probably know him. But anyway, Ronnie, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have anything to clean your palate, clean our palate with this week?
Bro, I'm so pissed off right now, man. I don't have anything.
All right, so we gotta help Ronnie clean his palate. We gotta help
It's not
Ronnie
gonna help,
clean
bro.
his
It's gonna
palate.
take me a minute, bro. That's why I hate getting
Okay. And that is why this segment right here came to us at our first one since we rebirthed the Shipwreck podcast. Because I felt like we needed something to end the pod positively. So Black, do you have anything that you would say?
My daughter in A school is still doing good.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. You
that's
stole mine. God damn it, you
really.
stole mine. Yeah. That's what I said. Don't steal it. Don't steal it, Black. Don't steal it. Huh?
She a controller?
No, she's
So yeah,
HM hospital coordinator school.
Uh-huh.
She came home last week. This past weekend, I went down and got her, brought her home for the weekend. So we enjoy having her back, and she's moving, progressing really well through school, which that makes me so happy and so proud because shit, I was worried for a minute because I just know how much information they pump in A school, and I was hoping that she'd be able to keep up, but she every day she calls, she be like, "Oh, we took a lab today. I scored a 98.8 on it. Oh, we took another lab today. I scored a 96. Oh, we took a test today. I passed. I made an 88." So they have like probably 3 or 4 tests a week, and she's kicking their asses. So I'm
Congratulations,
proud
man.
of her.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
And that's what it's about. And so I'm so happy for my niece. She gave me a call and we talked. We texted a little bit. She ain't called. She texted a little bit, and we text back and forth. And I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of anybody that is trying to better themselves in and of itself. And we will have a pod of, it ain't even versus, but I'm gonna call it versus, military versus school or other opportunities and stuff like that, because I think it'll be a great conversation to have. With that being said, I love you, brothers. I love everybody out there in the shipwreck crew, shipwreck shipmates. And I thank y'all for listening for the whole time frame. And if you didn't, you're watching it for the first time or anything like that, please like and subscribe. This is really a community. I know we only had my 2 brothers here and Joel, but this really is a community. We actually had Eddie. We had Micah on too. So it's really a community thing, and we really look forward to having other viewpoints. Because we argue with Ronnie a lot. So but we love different viewpoints, and if there's an opportunity for us to hear them, we will. If you are intimidated by hearing from other viewpoints, I have put this out there already into the people that I know that don't agree with a lot of the people on the pod. I'm willing to go man the seals against them all, and have us go after them, or have me go and show them why I feel the way I feel with facts, with reality. And hopefully one day that would happen. And if it doesn't, we will continue to do our pod like we do, because we're here to vent, we're here to learn, we're here to be compassionate to one another, and just be here for one another. So with that being said, I love y'all, and y'all have a good night. Peace.
Nobel Peace Prize.
I second that shit.